Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to 40k 8th edition, and welcome to the planet of Abakhan Epsilon, not to be confused with Abakhan Sigma, which we've seen before in previous battle reports. Same neck of the woods, different planet. And the reason we're in the same neck of the woods is because my Astra Militarum, the Cadian 404th and the 407th Armoured, are here fighting the forces of chaos once again, but a slightly different variety of chaos this time. They're facing off against the World Eaters. We're on an industrial kind of city planet, a hive world perhaps, as you can see here, and we've been battering our way through the city, the Cadians, and mostly fighting cultists, I imagine, up to this point, right up until now, where the heretic Astartes start to emerge out of the dust with their land raiders and their berserkers, and this right here, this street with this municipal building here and the church over there, and these ruins here that have been blasted by artillery fire. This is where we meet, straight right up the gut, in the middle, and it's probably going to be really, really bloody because berserkers versus guardsmen always ends up having a really high body count. It's all about rip and tear today. So, ladies and gentlemen, joining me today is David, bringing his World Eaters. First time we've had World Eaters on the channel. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be, like you say, very bloody.
Yeah, high body count, which is what we like to see. So.
Not very subtle either.
No, not exactly. No, as I was saying to you off camera, I've played World Eaters a couple of times in 8th edition, very early on, and oddly enough, they're one of the armies that actually has given my guard probably the most trouble, because I'm very bad at dealing with full-on assaults in my face as the guard. To be honest, actually.
Oh, that's unfortunate, because that's probably the only tactic I've got.
Yeah. There's one tool in the World Eaters toolbox, but it's a very good tool, so they use it a lot.
Well, I'd say it might be the charge of the light brigade into your guns, but we'll see. Might be the charge of my heavy brigade today, actually.
Yeah, possibly. I brought a slightly different guard list today, actually, from what I usually would. It's building towards a totally different type of guard army I want to be able to field. I'm not quite there yet because I don't have the models, but this is sort of a very, very early alpha phase, if you like, of the testing for this. But because I've had some people say in the past, and justifiably so, that sometimes it can be boring to watch guard because all they do is stand there and shoot stuff. They don't really move around much. They just form a gun line and then blow everything to bits. And yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't have a problem with playing like that. That's kind of part of the appeal of guard. But admittedly, yeah, they can be very static. So I'm starting to work on a guard army that's much less static. And this is the very early stages of that. Although, having said that, against the World Eaters, we're probably going to find ourselves boxed into a corner anyway, because that's just the way it goes with these guys. But nevertheless, we've talked a little bit about these armies. I suppose we better go have a look at them. So, I'll be the Cadians coming up first. Alright, folks, here they are. The Cadian 404th and the 407th Armoured, as you can see. And here's the list. It's 2 battalion detachments and a super heavy auxiliary detachment, which means that this big tank here, the elephant in the room, so we might as well address it first, this thing won't be getting the Cadian doctrine benefits. Not that it really needs them, to be fair, but it's in a super heavy auxiliary detachment. It is the Stormlord. I don't use it very often, but it's the good old Stormlord. It's got the twin Vulcan mega bolters on the front. I think that's what they're called. About 6 heavy bolters in total, a couple of las cannons. It's got the firing deck on the back. And it is, I sometimes affectionately refer to it as the Ogryn party bus, because basically what I like to do with it is stick it full of Ogryns and a priest, which we brought along today. The priest is back. And that's the core of this list, basically. I just decided, right, okay, I want to have a Stormlord full of Ogryns and just hurl it at the enemy. And I built everything around that. So in addition to that, we've also got a Hellhound, which is great. I just need to stand away from it when I think it's about to explode. We've got 3 tanks. We've got a tank commander. That's old, what's his name? Up there, Hannibal, that's the one. With his 2 heavy bowlers, las cannon, and main battle cannon as well. I know it looks like a Vanquisher. We're treating it as a battle cannon because Vanquishers are rubbish, and the Vanquisher cannon just looks cooler on the model. I might get some Vanquishers one day, but there will be the Forge World ones, like the Styges or Riser Pattern ones, or whatever they're called. But anyway, he's pretty much what you see is what you get for him. He has got track guards. He has got a hunter-killer missile. and he is a commander. And then we've got 2 regular tanks. One's a battle tank here with a heavy flamer and a couple of heavy bolters and a battle cannon. And this one's a demolisher with 3 heavy bolters and a demolisher cannon. The reason I'm bringing that along is, well, there's 2 reasons I'm bringing that along. One is we're in a city battle today, and that's where you're typically supposed to use demolishers. And also because post-FAQ, demolishers, Lehman Russ demolishers anyway, not so much Vindicators, which I think was, funnily enough, the change to Vindicator, the demolisher cannon in the FAQ I think was supposed to help Vindicators, but really it doesn't. They're still rubbish. What it really helps is Lehman Russ demolishers, because now I can fire that twice, 2d6 shots, strength 10, AP minus 5d6 damage. It's a monster. The only downside of it really is that it only has 24 inches range, but I think demolishers are the future, folks, with that last FAQ. I want to get more of them, but this is the first one we're going to try out today. Aside from that, we've essentially got 2 platoons, really. We've got the Colonel with his command squad, we've got the Flag, we've got the Medic, we've got the Plasma Guy, and we've got the Voxcaster as per usual. We've got acting second in command of the regiment, Captain Perkins. He's sort of acting Major Perkins at the minute, because we've not really selected a successor at this point. But he's acting second in command of the regiment at the minute, and he's got his little command squad as well, including our veteran Melter Guy from previous battles that you may remember. We've also got a Lord Commissar, and we've got the Priest as well, who's going to be riding along with the Ogrins, because the Priest with Bullgrins, gosh, it's funny. The amount of attacks they can put out, it's awesome. And aside from that, it's the meat of the 2 battalions is essentially these 2 platoons, these 6 infantry squads here. Each one's got a Voxcaster, each one has got some various special weapon. There's a few flamers, there's a couple of melter guns I think, there's a plasma gun as well. The usual stuff, basically. And that's the list, that's the lot. Lower model count than you'd expect for 2,000 points. Mostly because of this big old thing. I could have ditched that and taken an awful lot more tanks, but I just liked the idea of bringing out party bus for once, because I don't think I've ever actually done it in a battle report before. So, should be fun. That's all there is to say, really, other than, Warlord trait is going to be Master of Command for Colonel Van Graff, as per usual. That'll give him 3 orders per turn instead of 2. And the relic will be the Death Mask of Alanius over here, giving to Bert, the Ogren bodyguard, who is leading his Ogrins today. So he'll have a 2+ save from his slab shield. I don't know why that was so hard to say. He'll have the 4+ invulnerable save from his Death Mask of Alanius relic, and once per battle he can, at the start of one of my turns I believe, heal D3 wounds back. And since he's got 6 to start with, he's a tough old cookie, this Bert. He's a tough old cookie. He's a great guy to throw at something you want to slow down for a turn or 2. We'll see how he gets on today against Berserkers. That's going to be interesting, at least. Bullgrins versus Berserkers, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, speaking of Berserkers, I think we better go look at them. And here they are, folks. It's the World Eaters. Dave, talk me through this.
Okay, so what we're looking at is a battalion and a spearhead. It's basically these 2 separate warbands.
Yeah.
Each led by a Demon Prince. For admin purposes, Khan, who is going to be the Warlord, he's in this warband here, but he's not really officially. He joins whatever he wants.
Khan does as Khan wishes, really.
He is. He's the Warlord, which is probably not the wisest thing to do, but how can you not make Khan the Warlord?
I know, right?
Sure
yeah.
Unfortunately, that means his Warlord trait is Slaughterborn, which is a bit rubbish, but hey ho, them's the breaks.
Is that the one where he basically powers up a bit if he manages to kill characters?
Characters and vehicles.
I'll
have to double check. He normally doesn't get that far. For some reason, he's a bit of a bullet magnet.
Yeah.
Even though he's a character. Right, so we've got Demon Prince leading this battalion. He's got the Hellforged Sword, Malefic Talons, he's got a Warp Bolter. He's got the Artifact as well, which is the Talisman of Burning Blood. That allows him to advance and charge, and also re-roll charges.
Nice.
Quite handy. The troops in that battalion are 2 units of Berserkers.
Very good.
They're WYSIWYGs, so some have chain axes, there's a couple of plasma pistols in there. I think there's a power fist on one of the champions.
Yeah, I can see him right there next to the Rhino.
There's an icon of Wrath in each unit, because you've got 2 really, haven't you?
Yeah.
2 units of cultists at the front, 15 in one, 14 in the other. One unit has autoguns. The other unit has the brutal close combat weapons and pistols. There's a heavy stubber in there somewhere, I think. The squad leaders have shotguns because somebody says apparently they've got to have shotguns. I can't imagine who that was. Also got Chaos Land Raider, obviously, to carry one unit of Berserkers and a Rhino to carry the other. Again, they're Wizzy rigs, so there's a Havoc launcher and a combi bolter on the Land Raider.
Oh, I love Chaos Land Raiders. The spikier the better as well.
And then the second detachment, which is a spearhead. There is another Demon Prince with wings and 2 sets of malefic talons, so lots and lots of attacks. 8 Khorne Berserkers, just so he has a retinue basically.
Yeah. And
the 3 heavy sport choices you can see are the Land Raider and 2 Mauler Fiends.
Lovely. I like Mauler Fiends. I'm a big fan. I mean, they're not the most amazing unit ever for Chaos, but I'm a big fan of them just because they're fun, really.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, lovely. So we did the Warlord trait, didn't we?
We did.
And obviously, you're not going to have any psychic powers.
So. No. So we've got 9 command points.
No psychic phase whatsoever in this game. I didn't bring any psychers either. So
okay. That's a shame. We like killing psychers.
Yeah. I thought about it and then decided to swap them out for the priest. So, but anyway. Right, okay, jolly good. Let's go do the deployment stuff. Alright folks, we are deployed. The deployment type we got today was Spearhead Assault, which is honestly probably quite appropriate considering. Because that's exactly what both sides are going to be doing. That's what both armies are sort of built around, really, a Spearhead Assault, with the World Eaters charging forward with their Land Raiders and myself charging forward with my Stormlord and Hellhound and everything else. So, the objectives have obviously been placed. Objective 4 here next to the statue. Objective 3 here next to the entrance of this building here. I'm not sure what type of building that would be. I was going to say like sort of a governor's building, but it's a bit small for that. I think a 40k governor probably would have a massive palace somewhere elsewhere on the planet. Not sure what that would be. Possibly some kind of RBT's local enforcer station, something like that. But regardless, there's an objective outside it. Objective number 3. Objective 6 is over there by that small hut over there. We've got a, where is it? What's it called? There's a tank on top of it. Objective 2 here next to this power generator. And objective 5 over there in that destroyed chapel type building over there. And objective 1 at the entrance to the little church here as well. So there's the objectives. We deployed. The World Eaters finished deploying far before I did. I've had the whole army deploy on this side basically. I probably should have put some guys over on the other side of the church. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit too lazy for that, so I've got the whole army camped over on this side with some guys on the roof of the church. There are 2 squads of infantry and all the Bulgarians and the priest and Bert all in the Stormlord at the moment. 20 models can fire out of that via the firing deck if they need to. But they're all chilling out in the belly of the beast at the moment, and the rest of them are the ones you can see. The remaining squads are deployed outside. Because my plan is going to be to rush forward and try and secure as much ground as I can before the World Eaters sort of box me in. That's the idea anyway. So as you can see, the Stormlord itself and the Hellhound are both not screened, because my plan is going to have them charging right out of the gate as soon as possible. For the World Eaters part, obviously we've got Demon Prince chilling up here on the balcony. We've got some Mauler Fiends on the left flank here. And over on the right hand side, well, that's where most of the transports containing all the Berserkers are, as well as some more cultists up on the furthest right flank with the Demon Prince leading that side as well, and some cultists chilling out on top of this building here. So, that's how things look. Now with the old cleanse and capture rules, the person who finished deploying first will automatically go first. In this case, it's going to be the World Eaters. They had 8 drops. I stopped counting after 10. So I had a lot more. So the World Eaters will be going first in this contest. Unless, of course, the Colonel over there seizes the initiative and manages to act quicker than they do on the roll of a 6. Nope, close but no cigar. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be the World Eaters turn 1 coming up next. Alright folks, we bring you to the end of the World Eaters turn 1 movement phase, and well, well, there's no prizes for guessing what they were going to do. They've all moved forward, directly towards the Imperial Guard. That's what you'd expect from World Eaters, really. Charging up the gut, right through these city streets here, trying to get to the squishy, fleshy guardsmen at the other end, so we can start rending them limb from limb. Demon Prince and the 2 Mauler Fiends making their way up this street, and the 2 Land Raiders, followed by the Rhino, charging down in this direction as well. This one over here, the one with the Havoc Launcher, that's the one that's got Khan in it. And the other 2 obviously still have Berserkers in them as well, ready to jump out of those assault ramps and come screaming and charging right into my front line. Even the cultists have moved along the rooftops a little bit as well, so... Oh, should mention, actually, there's a reason everything's moving forward, aside from just being World Eaters, actually, and that's because of the objective cards, which Dave drew, which I should have filmed before this, but I forgot to. And now that I've said it out loud, I can't even fix that with the editing magic. Never mind, let's go look at the objectives. And here they are. As you were remarking off camera, actually, that it's a remarkably fluffy set of objectives for World Eaters, actually. Advance, obviously, which is score a victory point if you get one of your army out of its deployment zone. Claim and despoil, score D3 victory points if you control an objective marker that was controlled by your opponent at the start of the turn. And priority orders received, assassinate, which basically means that that's the objective that only Khan can achieve. So if Khan assassinates an enemy character, which in this case will be either my priest, but the colonel or the major or my commissar, so you've got lots of choices there, you will score that. So those are the objectives for the World Eaters. Basically get forward and crush and destroy things, which is perfect really for them. So as we go into the shooting phase, there's actually 2 things worthy of note here. One is that I did decide to use prepared positions in this scenario, so everything except for the super heavy has got the benefit of cover in this first turn. I always forget prepared positions exist actually, and then Dave reminded me that I could actually use them. I was like, ooh, that's a good idea! Also, this Rhino over here has popped smoke, so that will have a -1 to hit on it if I choose to shoot at it. Admittedly, I've got some bigger targets in front of me, but every little helps, I suppose. So, what are you shooting first? Because you've got a bit of shooting in this World Eaters army.
Yeah, unusually. I'm going to start with the Far Land Raider, that's Cadian. I'm going to put the small arms, Havoc Launcher, Heavy Bolter, and Combi Bolter up into the infantry on the roof.
Very good.
And the last cannons, I'm going to have to go for the Stormlord, because it's big, it's scary, and I actually can't see the other Land Raiders.
Leman Rusters, there we go.
There's the first.
Yeah, no, they were actually surprisingly well concealed back there. That wasn't by design, trust me, I just put them where I thought I could fit them.
Okay. So 6 Heavy Bolters.
Very good.
Re-rolling the 1, because we're within range of the Demon Prince.
Yeah, hitting on 3s because you've got the old power of the Machine Spirit. Well, it's not called that with Chaos, is it? It's called Dark Machine Spirit or something, isn't it? But
nonsense.
yeah, same thing.
To wound, that's 4 wounds at -1, but you're in colour.
I am indeed. So that will basically just still be my usual 5-up cover save unless I decided to use take cover. I don't think I will though. Oh, terrible saves. Okay, good. So that's 4 dead guardsmen already.
Combi Bolter. There's 1 more wound. I'll do the Havoc Launcher as well because there's no modifiers to any of these. 3 shots. 2 hits. That's 2 wounds in total.
Very good. Again, no armor piercing on these, right?
No.
No, so I'll get a 4-up save this time at least. And where on earth has that one gone? There we go. Okay, so 1 dies and 1 does pass. So that's 5 dead guardsmen already. You've killed half the squad.
Right, now the main event. Last cannons into the Stormlord.
Yes. So far, so good.
Reroll the 1.
Very good. Okay. Strength 9, so wounding this monster on 3s. Oh, that's rough. Okay, well, 2 do go through. And that is going to be -3, so this thing will have a couple of 6-up saves to make. It makes both. I'm so sorry. Even using one of the corn dice as well to add insult to injury there, I'm afraid. Okay, then.
It's going to go over quite cry.
Yeah. Okay, then. Well.
Second Land Raider's going to do exactly the same.
Yeah, let's try that again.
Small arms into the infantry squad.
Very good.
Heavy Bolters. Ooh, 3 twos.
Hmm.
Oh, these are winter's dice. 5 twos, 1 wound.
Alright.
-1.
Does make it this time.
This combi bolter. 1 wound. No modifier.
4-up save. What was that in the end? Oh, we passed it. Very good. It's a 5, right.
Last cannon's into the Stormlord.
Better luck this time, hopefully. Okay.
Well, they can hit.
Yeah. Oh, definitely hit. It's wounding the damn thing. That's the problem, apparently. Okay.
And that's 3 wounds. And I'm going to use a command point on that one.
Fair enough.
4 wounds.
Nice. Okay. That's more like it. So, 4 6-ups. I made 1 of them, so 3 do go through. That's 3d6 damage, so. There we go. Ooh, nice. So that is, maths, let's see, 11, 12,
14.
14. 14 wounds down on this thing. That's quite a lot. I think you've probably brought it down a bracket, I reckon, actually. I'd need to check how many wounds these things have. Okay, 12 wounds left on this monster. It's had almost over half its health taken away. It's down to its 2nd bracket already in just turn 1. That is... You got some really nice hits in there. I think, honestly, I got lucky that the other Land Raider whiffed, actually. But and then, of course, we've got this other squad up here, which is only 5 troopers left in it. So, that is pretty much the end of your turn, isn't it? We did a heavy stubber as well. From... Where was the heavy stubber? From the cultists, wasn't it, up there? That didn't kill any of them. Guardsmen successfully passed their save. And that sums up Worldiest turn 1 nice and quick. And I have a leadership test to take for my dudes up here. Now I could spend a command point to help with this. Let's see, so they lost 5. They are leadership 7 with the sergeant. How badly do I want them to stick around for? So I will spend a command point because I don't use this stratagem very often. I forget what it's called, but it allows me to roll a d3 for morale instead of a d6. So this is going to be 5 plus d3, so 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 more trooper will run away, and then those remaining 4 will stay. That was possibly worth it, I don't know. I just fancied using it because I never usually do, actually. So there we go, I've got 10 command points left. And let's have a look at your objectives. Nothing scored out of these so far. You weren't really going to in turn 1. And he didn't get first blood either, unfortunately. He didn't quite manage to finish off those guardsmen or nuke that Stormlord in 1 turn. So, first blood still available. Maybe I can get it in my turn. Let's find out. Guard turn 1, coming up next. Alright folks, well these are the guards' objectives for turn 1. Regimental Pride. This is an objective I didn't even realise existed until now. Score 1 victory point if an enemy character was killed by one of my characters, basically. The chances of my commissar or someone like that killing a demon prince or Khan is a bit slim. But you never know. I guess maybe Bert could have a good college try at least, I suppose. But yeah, that's an interesting one. And we also got Defend Objective 3 and Defend Objective 2 now. Objective 3 is over here, so that's pretty much right out. Defend Objective 2, I lucked out with that one. That's the one over here next to my tanks and the power generator on the left-hand side there. So, whoops, ran out of memory there. We're good now though. But basically, to sum up, yeah, only one of my objectives is particularly useful to me right now. The other 2 are a bit... I don't know which one I'm going to discard, honestly, probably Defend Objective 3 at the end of the turn. But we're well off that yet. Because now, it's about time I did some moving. The Cadians' turn 1 movement is done, and we're being aggressive too in our own way. I've sent the Stormlord and the Hellhound right up the middle here, straight towards these Mortal Fiends. Because that's what we do. The Hellhound's going to be just blasting anything it can within range with flames, and then possibly exploding. That's what they tend to do. And the Stormlord, a bit slower now because it's on its 2nd bracket of movement, but it still managed to trundle up 7 inches actually. And with the Crush Them stratagem, I could have it charge something in the charge phase and potentially do quite a bit of damage with its adamantium tracks.
One of the squads that was inside it has got out. This infantry squad here did pop out of it. Still inside we have the priests, the Bulgarins, Bert, and one of the infantry squads. The reason for that is the other infantry squad, well, it can fire out the back of the thing if it needs to, but it's also there in case this thing goes kaboom next turn, and I have to roll to see who dies on the way out. And if it comes to that, I prefer random guardsmen to die than my 3 wound, toughness 5, 2+ save Bulgarins. So the guardsmen are basically still inside it as ablative wounds. The rest of them have moved up a little bit to bring that screen of dudes with the las guns forward slightly. And the squad of guardsmen that was standing outside the doors of the church, they've got up on the roof with an advance roll. So very good advance roll too. Actually, I think I rolled a 5. So that's how things look. The plan is to just run up and maybe punch the world eaters in the nose before they punch me in the nose. I think that might be my plan here. So, however, this is the Imperial Guard, and so therefore we do have quite the shooting phase coming up, and I think I'm going to start with the Hellhound. Yeah, I'm going to start with the Hellhound. So the Hellhound split in fire, starting as we mean to go on, I suppose. The Flamestorm Cannon, I think it's called, is going to be firing at this back Mauler Fiend here. And the Heavy Flamer, because it's not in range of this, is going to be firing at the front Mauler Fiend. So, let's do the Flamestorm Cannon first. 2d6 auto hits. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's 10. And this will now wound you on 5s. So that is 3 wounds go through. -1 AP on these, so 2 go through. Take 2 wounds off that Mauler Fiend as it gets absolutely bathed in liquid promethium there. And the smaller Heavy Flamer is targeting one at the front. D6 auto hits, another 5 again. My Imperial Guard Flamers, without wanting to curse them, but based on their previous performance and battle reports, are weirdly reliable. Unlike my Orc ones. That is, yeah, another 2 wounds. And 1 successful save. So 1 wound off the front one as well. Moving on now to the Lehman Russ Demolisher. It's going to be firing its Demolisher Cannon at this Mauler Fiend at the back here. And all 3 of its heavy bolters are going to be going into those cultists who are taking cover up on the roof there. So, here's the heavy bolter shots first. So I'll hit on 4s. No rerolls. Actually, I'll hit on 5s because it did move. So, still that's pretty good. I'll take that. And, woo! Come back. Alright, I'm just going to grab one of these. It will now wound you on 3s, yeah. Okay, so 3 go through. It basically... Oh, sorry, 4 go through. And it basically ignores your cover save, essentially, because it's -1. So...
3 go through.
3 dead cultists. Very nice. Now the party piece, the Demolisher Cannon, firing at this Mauler Fiend. Now, it moved. This Demolisher did move, but it didn't move more than half of its movement range. So, it does get grinding advance. And part of grinding advance as well is I don't suffer a minus for heavy weapons on the turret when moving and firing. So this will be 2d6 shots. I could use my commander to order this thing to pound them to dust, which will allow me to re-roll any of these dice. But I'm going to save that for the commander himself, I think, because I've got some Land Raiders that need to die. It's a bit more important that they die than this does. So 2d6 shots with the Demolisher now, post FAQ. Because it's firing twice. Only 4. Not great. Do I want a command point one of those? How many command points have I got? I've got 10. Is there anything else I'm going to use it for in this phase? No. Alright, go on. I'll do it then. Alright, I didn't roll it into a worse one. That's what I usually do when this happens. So that is a 2 and a 5. So tell me much. Thank you. Right, that's a bit more like it. Now it's a strength 10. So it's still wounding you on 3s, I think. No, it's got to hit first, yeah. Terribly sorry. Cheating! That's me. Yeah, hitting on 4s. Not re-rolling those 1s, sadly, because we didn't stay still. Now wounding you on 3s, there we go. 3 wounds, and this is AP minus a ridiculous amount. I think it might be -5, so it's dead. Let me check. Oh, I really am trying to cheat today. It's not -5 or -4 or anything like that. It's just -3. I say just -3. That's still a lot, but I don't know where I got that from. Genuinely. Anyway,
I might have shock attack guns on my brain or something, I don't know. But anyway, you got your demon save, your 5 demon save for this. You do pass one of those, so 2 go through. And that's d6 a pop each. That's the main thing with the Demolisher Cannon, it's the d6 damage. Well, I did 4, that's fine. I can't command point reroll. So we go, 4 damage down on this one, plus I did an extra point. Extra 2 points with the Flamestone Cannon on the what's it called, the Hellhound. So that's 6 damage I've done to this thing in this turn. That's not too bad. It's not too shabby. Alright, now going to move on to the rest of the Leman Russ, starting with the commander, I think, because he's going to be firing at this Land Raider over here. Quite a mounted decline, killing 2 Land Raiders, admittedly, but we'll give it a go. He's going to fire his las cannon and his battle cannon at the Land Raider, and his 2 heavy bolters. I need to measure it up, but presumably the cultists if they're in range. Alright, if I measure from the barrel of the gun on the tank, they are actually in range, and you're cool with that, so we're going to roll with it. First though, I'm going to start with the las cannon, and he is going to order himself to pound them to dust, so for his battle cannon shots he is going to re-roll here as well. So, and also he's got a hunter killer missile, which I am going to also fire at the Land Raider. Might as well use it before I forget it. So, I'll start with the hunter killer missile. Hitting on a 3 re-rolling 1s, that's typical. Las cannon does hit, and wounds on a 4+, no 3+ even, just las cannon. Does wound.
Fails the save.
Alright, and then d6 damage.
5.
5, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. 5 damage down in total. Now firing the battle cannon. 2d6 shots, and I can re-roll either of these if I need to. And I think I will, with pound them to dust. An order that Cadians get because their tank crews are trained to prize rate of fire on the main cannon above everything else, which is why they get that access to that order. However, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to have helped me much in this case. So, hitting on 3s, re-rolling any 1s, and wounding you on 4s. Oh, dreadful. Hannibal, what is going on, mate? Alright. Let's rinse some cultists with heavy bolters. And the heavy bolters killed 3 cultists biting the dust there on the top of that building. Very disappointing, Knight Commander. That leaves us with the final Leman Russ at the back there. Its battle cannon is going to fire at the Land Raider as well, and its heavy bolters are going to fire at it too because they're out of range to hit the cultists. And its flamer is totally out of range of everything, so... Once again, 2d6 shots with the battle cannon. 6, slightly better. And 4's re-rolling 1s this time. So I can re-roll those. Nothing was gained though. 3 hits, wounding on 4s, 2 wounds this time. AP -2, so 4 up saves.
Ooh.
Okay, and then d3 damage each. So 4 wounds off the main Land Raider. Well, I say the main Land Raider, that one. Now I'm going to try and desperately take some more wounds off with these heavy bolters, so that's not too bad. And then wounding on 5s. That's the tricky bit. There we go. 2 wounds, 3 up saves. Oh dear! Alright, 2 more wounds off you with the heavy bolters. I wouldn't have expected that, but there it is. You're still very much not dead though. That's the chief problem here I've got. I do have some guys with melter guns and what have you around here. None of them in range though. Okay, the plasma gunner in that little 4-man squad up on the roof there is going to try his luck against Land Raider now, overcharging his plasma gun. And the colonel's going to use one of his 3 orders this turn to order them to bring it down, which means he can re-roll 1s to wound. He's re-rolling 1s to hit for staying still and being a Cadian. So at that range he's got 1 shot and he misses. So never mind, that's fine. And then there's a couple of las guns in there as well, which one of them hits. Doesn't wound though. Okay. Bit of a non-event there. Was worth a try though. So now we're moving on to the Stormlord with all of its many guns. There are guys inside it, there's still a squad in there, but they've got a flamer. I was hoping maybe I'd left one of the melter gun squads inside it, but I don't think I did. The whole point of putting the flamer guys in there was so they could get out and flame something at close range, so... Yeah. Alright,
Basically, I'm going to fire a lot of stuff on the Stormlord at that Land Raider. So finally we come to the Stormlord, and everything on it is going to be firing at that Land Raider, including the heavy bolters. I had a choice to make there. I could have fired the heavy bolters up at the cultists to try and wipe them out and get first blood. Alternatively, I can throw everything I've got at this Land Raider and try and desperately kill it, because I think if I can kill one of your Land Raiders, the Stormlord might survive another turn, which would be good. So I think I'm going to err on the side of doing that, trying to preserve my big tank by killing one of the main threats to it, which is those 4 las cannons there. So I think that's going to be the plan. If I can destroy it as well, I might kill a few extra berserkers as a bonus, so that's always nice. Right, so I'm going to start with both of its las cannons. Hitting on 4s, well, not rerolling 1s, no. So both the las cannons miss. Great start. And now the Vulcan Mega Bolter, which has 20 shots, strength 6, -2, damage 2. Okay, here we go. Hitting on 4s. Okay, that was actually hitting on 5s, they've just pointed out off camera there, because it's degraded and I totally forgot. I'm cheating again, basically. I got 8 hits though in total, hitting on 5s, so I just went back and checked the footage. And problem is now I've got a wound on 5s. So that's 3 wounds. Out of 20 shots, 3 successful wounds. And that's -2. So 4 up saves. You make 2 of them. 1 goes through and that's 2 damage. So never mind, that probably wasn't worth it.
Down to 3.
Yeah. Has it got 3 left? Is that it?
3.
I wasn't keeping track, I'll be honest. Alright, the heavy bolters might be able to do it. Let's have a look. Alright, after 18 heavy bolter shots, I managed to take 1 more wound off the Land Raider. Just the 1. Which brings it down to 2 wounds left, which gets us into the sort of weird territory where, even though it's a Land Raider, it's almost worth firing las guns at it. And so, that's actually what I'm going to do. It's going to take a while, so we'll come back to you for the saving throws. But first off, the entire squad in the firing deck on the back of this thing is going to be firing their las guns out at that Land Raider and hoping for the best, basically. Now, imagine the commander of this tank basically shouting up to the guys on the firing deck, open fire with all of everything you've got at this thing, it's nearly dead, hoping that one of these las guns might accidentally, probably more than anything else, shoot something vital and cause an explosion on this Land Raider, which is just in an absolute state. Can you imagine a Land Raider with 2 wounds left? So we did, after all of the las guns in the back of this thing fired, including the sergeant with his las pistol, did manage to get 1 wound on it. So you've got 1 save to make, but it's a 2 up, isn't it, for a Land Raider? So, oh no!
I'm going to command point that. So, because it's embarrassing.
Fair enough. There you go, right, so that is successfully saved. I'm going to have to look elsewhere for those desperate final shots. Right, this squad down here now, with the Colonel directly ordering them to first rank fire, second rank fire, rapid firing with their las guns on full auto with this thing, trying and bring it down. And they maybe almost have. They've managed to get 2 wounds thrown it successfully after a lot of dice rolling. 2 saves. No, you passed both. I'm going to keep going. This squad next, opening fire with their las guns. First rank fire, second rank fire for, I think, the Colonel's 3rd order for this turn. Into the Land Raider, 1 successful wound caused once again. 2+, saved again. I'm sensing a theme here. I don't think there's anyone left who can actually fire at you at this point. I have other guardsman squads, but I don't think any of them are in range or line of sight, so I'm going to have to settle for that Land Raider just not being quite dead. Unless I charge it. That's an interesting thought. I was going to charge that Maw Fiend, but okay. Well, we're going into the charge phase now, and well, yeah. It's a 9-inch charge to get to this Maw Fiend, so I imagine it's a bit longer to get to that Land Raider around here. But I'm just going to measure it up and see, out of academic curiosity. I have a plan. It's a cunning plan, I hope. So, this is what's going to happen. This Hellhound, this is not charging. The Stormlord's not charging at all. This Hellhound, though, it is going to charge. It's going to charge this Maw Fiend and this Land Raider. And the reason for that is if I can get it in here, and the Mauler Fiend rips it to pieces in close combat, this thing will explode on a 4+. And if it explodes, there's a very good chance it'll destroy that Land Raider. And as you said off camera, there's a lot of dominoes that need to fall for this to work, but I think it's worth a try. So I'm going to urge the penal crew inside this thing onwards to one final blaze of glory over the Vox and tell them to charge. So I'm going to need a 9-inch charge to get into the Land Raider. The Mauler Fiend obviously is slightly less than that. And I'm going to roll a charge. We'll do the Overwatch. But he does get in with a 12. So he's going to make it in like that. So I'm now engaging both of you. And now you can do your Overwatch. So
last cannons?
Here's the last cannons.
No. Heavy bolters.
Were you re-rolling ones for those, by the way, because you're Demon Prince?
Yes.
So I think you rolled a 1 there, so for the last cannons.
Last cannon still misses, and the heavy bolter still misses. There we go.
Alright, so no damage taken on Overwatch. Well, oddly enough, I would have preferred that. So, but okay. Phase 1 of the plan is complete. I think this thing has 3 close combat attacks. And just in the interests of desperation, it will target the Land Raider with them. So, 3 attacks, I think they hit on 6s. 1 hit, 5 to wound. It does wound. You do save though. Alright, it was worth a try. Alright, now it's your turn to fight. And I'm hoping you do really well here.
Thank you.
Alright, it's going to be 5 attacks from the fists coming up. An extra 1 for Hateful Assault, which works on demon engines, which is pretty cool. So
I'm not using Demon Forge.
you're not going to, surprisingly enough, you're not going to use Demon Forge. So hit on 4s. So you got 2 hits with the fists.
3 hits.
3 hits with the fists.
Strength 12. Oh.
Okay, 3 successful wounds. What's the minus on these then?
They are -3.
-3, very good. Alright, 6 up saves then. Blast, I made one of them. Alright. So.
Lash tendrils.
Oh, we've got to roll the damage for these things. Oh, how much do they do?
It's flat 3.
Flat 3 each. So, okay, 6 wounds down on the Hellhound so far.
And no damage from the lash tendrils.
No damage from the lash tendrils. Blast, it's not dead. Alright, well.
I'll still have a Land Raider to attack.
7 attacks because of Hateful Assault, which hilariously does work on a Land Raider. Hitting on 6s, so you get 1 hit.
Strength 8. Potentially 1.
You do wound. And unfortunately, I save. Alright, well, the Hellhound's not dead. On the bright side, it's causing you an awful traffic jam. So I suppose that's the silver lining to this situation, but I really was hoping it would explode in your face there. Never mind. Okay, well, there it is. I've tied up a Land Raider as well. It is now occurring to me, the tactical genius that I am, that all I actually really needed to do this turn was tie up a Land Raider, not destroy it. So I could have actually sent an awful lot of firepower elsewhere with that knowledge in mind. Oh well, that's my tactical blunder of the day, folks. There you go. I'm implying there that there's only going to be 1 tactical blunder of the day. So not true. Anyway, that concludes the turn, funnily enough. So that was an interesting one. My guns failed me back there, big time. Oh, you've got cultists from morale check. Yes, of course.
6 plus 6 casualty, that's 12, so I lose another 6.
Another 6 cultists running away as well. So, does that leave any of them left?
It does.
Right, so they're not all gone just yet. Now,
There's 3.
I don't have first blood. Again, had I remembered that I could just tie up the Land Raider, admittedly it was a pretty risky charge, but had I remembered that I could just tie up the Land Raider, that'd stop it from shooting. Sorry, folks in the comments who are probably screaming at me. If I'd remembered that, I probably would have fired a lot of my heavy bolters and stuff at those cultists instead and tried to get first blood. So that's my stupidity has cost me a point, basically. So, well, fair enough. That's how we learn. So, anyway, that concludes the turn. The Guard have surged forward. They've opened fire with their guns, but a lot of them just have not found their mark, unfortunately. The World Eater's assault has been stalled in the middle of this. It's not really a square, is it? But it's something akin to a square. As we go into the World Eater's turn 2. Let's see if they can get over my little speed bump here. folks. We're in the World Eater's turn 2, into the movement phase, and this is how things look. They've rushed forwards, except for this Land Raider, which is reversed. Popped smoke as well while it was at it, and its contents of Berserkers have disgorged themselves and are climbing over these crates, making a beeline straight for my Stormlord, or just basically anything within Chain Axe range, I think, really. That's how Berserkers do. Elsewhere, though, you use Tide of Traitors for a couple of command points to take the squad of cultists that was on the top of this building, and they've come back onto this table edge over here. And the reason you did that, chiefly, was to get everything out of your deployment zone so you can basically score advance, because all of your objectives were the same as last turn, so that's why I haven't bothered to show them off so far. But yeah, so you've reversed away from the Hellhound, although the smaller fiend is remaining in combat with it, and as it turns out, yeah, the Hellhound, moving the Hellhound up there was a good idea because it has caused you problems. Like, you weren't able to get the smaller fiend through here either, were you? So yeah, that was a good move on my part. What wasn't a good move on my part was actually forgetting to use Vengeance for Cadian in my last turn for a command point. I really should have used it probably on the Stormlord, so once again, sorry everybody. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'm not just saying this as an excuse for forgetting, but I'm not a massive fan of stratagems in 8th edition, really. I think the whole command points and stratagem system could do with being slimmed down significantly, because it's just too much stuff to remember, and I'm not a big fan of it. I prefer the way Age of Sigmar works, with its very few command abilities and much fewer command points, personally. But that's by the by. We're getting on a massive tangent there. So anyway, essentially, the World Eaters have done everything they could to ensure that they get out of the deployment zone, so they can score a point by doing that. Additionally, you want to try and get First Blood as well, because that'll give you 2 points, which will more or less equal the 2 points I'm going to get for defending Objective 2. So that puts us on even Stevens. So potentially, theoretically, not too difficult to do, because there's a squad of 4 guardsmen up there who shouldn't necessarily be too difficult to kill, but you never know, we'll see. So anyway, that's the World Eater's movement pretty much sorted, aside from other bits like the Demon Prince obviously moving up here. Did he advance or did he just move?
No, he just jumped.
He just jumped, so he might be charging something too. I say might, almost certainly will be charging something. Yeah, and that's all she wrote as far as that's concerned. So we're going to hop into the shooting phase now. Is there anything you want to start with immediately?
I'm going to start with a bit of small arms fire up at the infantry on the roof.
Very good. I'll tell you what, I'm going to spend a command point then in that case on take cover to give them an extra bonus to their saves, just to be awkward about it. So,
bolter from the Rhino.
Very good.
Just outside short range. 2 hits, 1 wound.
Very good. So my 5-up is now 3-up because of take cover and being in cover. And they save anyway.
And a warp bolter from the Demon Prince.
Ah, yeah.
2 hits, 2 wounds. This, I think, is -1.
-1 or 2, I think, Warp Bolter. Don't see people use them very often, actually.
It's just on the model. That's
Yeah.
why I use it.
You got the old Metal Demon Prince over there, haven't you?
It is. It weighs a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, -1, 2 damage. Not that comes into play.
Okie doke, so 4-up saves. Ah, 1 is failed, 1 is passed, though. So I will kill off this random trooper here. It's the last random trooper available. I'm going to have to start killing specialists after that.
Okay, then we'll move on to the Land Raider.
Very good.
Small arms all up at that 3-man squad.
Okie doke.
And last cannon's going to have a guess.
Yeah. Oh, I do. What could it possibly be shooting at, I wonder?
Straight into Storm.
Yeah.
So, Havoc Launcher, D6 shots, 2. Reroll the 1.
Oh dear. That's a good start.
Combi Bolter, 4 shots now. 3 wounds.
3 wounds. And, oh no, 2 failed. Alright, let's kill everyone but the sergeant.
And then the Heavy Bolter. Or Twin Heavy Bolter.
Okay.
It's only 1 wound.
Only 1 wound, alright. 4-up save. He does make it. Sergeant's still standing. Okay.
Right, there's 4 last cannons into Stormlord.
Yes, alright.
2 ones.
Reroll those.
3 hits.
3 hits, okay.
3 to wound.
Yes.
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
To a command point.
Do you indeed? I've got 12 wounds left on this thing.
No, I don't think I will.
Okay. 2 6-up saves. No. Double 5s, but that's not good enough.
8 damage.
8 damage. Ooh! Okay. It's got 4 left. It's still chugging along though. Just about. Okay.
4 pistols into it as well from the...
Here we go.
Remember, because well, you shot my Land Raider with Asgans.
Yeah, fair enough.
They are within range. So let's reroll the one.
Yep.
That's 4 hits.
All pistols away. 6 is to wound.
No.
Nah. With that shooting over, that brings us very swiftly into the charge phase. And you didn't actually get first blood in your shooting phase, which surprises me slightly, but there it is. So, the charge phase beginneth, and you're actually charging your Land Raider into the Stormlord, aren't you?
I am.
Remind us why.
Well, basically, with all your anti-infantry shot, if I just try charging the Berserkers in, you're going to absolutely murder them.
Yeah.
You could well be absolutely murdering that Land Raider as well with this. It's probably the only chance I've got.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go with the Land Raider first, which will then obviously tie it up for next turn as well if I don't destroy that, or you'll be charging infantry in.
Problem with Stormlords is, with the Guard Super Heavies, if you can't tie them up, they still get to shoot. They can fall back and shoot, and also they can still shoot even if they're in combat with some of their guns too. So.
I know, but they can't shoot in Overwatch if you tie them up.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, yeah. So basically, the main thing is you want to have the Land Raider eat the Overwatch so the Berserkers don't
can charge in and finish off the last 4 wounds.
Which is probably a wise move. It's a question of, do you want to forego basically those las cannon next turn?
Well, I'm going to have to, otherwise there's no way those Berserkers are going to survive that charge.
Yeah.
If you play defensive gunners on there, you've got so many shots, you're going to absolutely wipe them out.
Yeah, it's true. On that note, I think I will be playing defensive gunners to shoot your Land Raiders. So, okay then. Well, go ahead and roll the charge. Yeah.
He's in.
He's definitely in. So you are ramming right into the side of this thing, which is a fantastic mental image, by the way. I just love that. A World Eater's Land Raider just ramming into the side of a Stormlord. That's awesome. But right, now let's do the Overwatch. So I'm going to, for a command point, it might be 2 command points. I will double check. I'm going to use defensive gunners, so my guns will hit on a 5 or 6 instead of just a 6 in Overwatch. So as the Land Raider comes charging down that street towards the Stormlord, it pivots and fires all of its guns straight into the behemoth as it slams into us. And I got as far as the las cannons and got a hit and got a wound. Spent a command point to get the wound. I had to re-roll it with a command point, but have managed to get a wound, and you did fail the save. So D6 damage on the Land Raider. Thought I might as well film this. 6.
Oh.
Yikes. Alright. 6 wounds down on the Land Raider. And I've still got all the heavy bolters and the mega bolter to fire as well. We did the Vulcan mega bolter and the heavy bolters off camera as well. And with all said and done, the Vulcan mega bolter managed to get a lucky hit in there too. And we've taken 8 wounds in total off that Land Raider. It's half dead from 1 round of Overwatch. Brutal. I can see why you didn't want that coming at the Berserkers. So, now we're going to roll for the Berserkers, I guess.
We are.
So,
they're in.
Yeah, they're definitely in.
And here I'll roll for the Demon Prince into those 2 squads. Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
That's going to be bad.
You've used a command point in this phase, right?
On what?
Hang on a minute, you're right. Hang on.
I haven't.
No, you haven't. I don't think you have. No. I don't know where that came from.
No, but I'll need a 5. Well, I'm going to go for it anyway.
Go for it, go on then.
We're corn. Ooh.
Oh, that's just rough. Okay, well, the Demon Prince isn't going anywhere, and we're going to fire lots of las guns at him too, so... Unlucky. Right, I'll do that off camera in just a second. Alright, there we go, folks. The Berserkers have piled in, and the Demon Prince did not take any damage on Overwatch, so nothing ventured, nothing gained there. Nothing lost either. So, now into the fight phase. Where do you want to start? Because I could interrupt here with this Stormlord, and it's no joke in combat, this thing, so...
I will be starting with the Berserkers.
Okie doke.
Take a while. Take a moment for me to gather up a big pile of dice.
Yeah. Alright folks, there's an absolute avalanche of attacks coming in from these berserkers now on the Stormlord, tearing away at that armour plating with their chain swords and chain axes.
Start with the Champion's Power Fist.
Indeed. So, here we go.
That's actually only one hit.
Wow, okay.
With one wound.
That's weird, alright. -3, 6 up. No.
D3 damage.
Just the one. Okay. So that brings it down to only 3 wounds left now. Where is the 3? Oh, D20. Why do you do this to me? It's got 3 left. Right.
Chain axes.
Right.
We are within range of a Demon Prince.
Very good. So re-rolling those ones.
And there is a 6 there, so that'll be 2 extra attacks for Death to the False Emperor.
Ah, yeah. I'm glad you remembered it.
Which is re-roll 1. No. Strength 6 with the chain axe.
Yep.
5.
5 to wound this thing. That's not bad at all. That's pretty good.
-1.
4 ups. Okay, 1 goes through. It's got 2 wounds left.
And then chain swords. Re-rolling the ones. 1, 2, 3, what was it, 6? 4 more Death to False Emperors.
Lovely.
Re-roll 1.
That's a lot of hits.
This is the first round.
Yeah, I know.
But we need 5s and 6s. We only get 2.
Okay.
And you get full saves on this.
3 up saves. I failed them both. It's gone. Okay. I was hoping it won't survive so I could interrupt and squish something with the adamantine tracks, but oh well, never mind. Does it explode? Yes, it does. Oh boy. I've never had one of these explode before. I don't even know what happens. Alright folks, well when these things explode, they really explode. So first, we've got to find out how big the explosion is, because it explodes 2d6 inches. So in this case, 6 inches. And everything within 6 inches of it will suffer d6 mortal wounds. So an awful lot of stuff's been caught in this, as it turns out. First up, this Land Raider. D6 mortal wounds in the explosion. 1. Very lucky there. The Berserkers. D6 mortal wounds. 6 mortal wounds! Oh! Okay. This Demon Prince. D6 mortal wounds. 3. 3 on the Demon Prince. And I'll put a 6 next to those guys. Now, the Hellhound is just within a millimetre of being in range, so we could have a chain reaction explosion here. It takes d6 more wounds and it's got 5 left. No, okay, so it's not quite dead. Command point. It's awfully tempting, but no, I don't think I will. It's got 2 left. Alright. It's still got to be punched by your Mortal Fiend anyway, so, but chain reaction explosions are amazing and I kind of wish it had happened. So then my guys over here, this squad of infantrymen, d6 more wounds, 4 of them. Cop it. This squad of infantrymen, 5, yikes. And then I'm pretty sure
there's a squad on the roof or something.
There is a squad on the roof, you're right actually. 2. Right, 2 for you guys up there. And then the Demolisher, I'm pretty sure is within 6 inches range as well. So 5. Oh. Okay, so that was an eye-watering explosion there. Let's get everybody out. Actually, let's see how many of them die on the way out. Right, folks, halfway through moving models and things, I forgot that the Commissar's also in range as well. D6 more wounds on him. 3. Okay, the Commissar's still alive. That was a bit hairy. I was worried he was going to die there. I would have used a command point on that, I think. Well, folks, there we are in the aftermath of the explosion. We even popped a traitor down because it felt appropriate. My army suddenly feels a heck of a lot smaller now. Oh boy, that was a big kaboom. Funnily enough, actually, it turns out if a Stormlord explodes, apparently you're much safer if you're inside it, because we disembarked all the passengers, as you can see, and only 1 Imperial Guardsman died. So statistically, you're much safer if you're inside the exploding Stormlord for some reason. I don't know, them's the rules. I'm going to have a lot of morale problems in this turn. I didn't expect that happening, but there it is. We're not done there yet, though. We're actually not finished with the fight phase yet, because this Morlothian's still going to punch this Hellhound. So, right, and yeah, well, you don't need First Blood anymore, so you're probably not going to use Demon Forge in this, right?
I'm not. This one got 2 wounds left, so I'll risk it.
Yep.
It's the fists, 3 hits. No hateful assault, obviously.
Yep.
3 wounds.
3 wounds. Okay.
-3, flat 3. Oh.
No saves made at all. So it does explode on a 4+, the Hellhound. Have I used a command point yet this phase? Don't think I have I? I didn't need to use one for the Stormlord exploding.
No, you didn't. No.
Maybe I should have done in hindsight, but it was too cool not to let that happen. I'm going to use a command point. That'll bring me down to 7. And yeah, I'm going to try and make this damn thing explode. No. Curse you, fate. Curse you, dice gods. You just didn't want to see it happen. So no exploding Hellhound. Much to your relief, I'm sure. It just dies. Well, with that disappointing lack of an explosion, that brings us to morale. And yeah, we've got some morale to do here. So this squad up here, they lost 2 guys. They're fine. This squad lost 4. They are most assuredly not fine. So that is 4, 10, so 3 more of them are running away. I guess that means you. Yep, there we go. You. And the Voxcaster might as well go as well. Okay. And this squad here lost 5. Actually, no, I'm going to leave the Voxcaster there because I just realised I have a spare trooper. There we go. And they lost 5, so 5, 6, 7. They're actually fine. Those are the ones I was worried about, but there you go. They've held firm. So that's all my morale done. Your Berserkers also have some morale to do.
They're fine.
They're fine, yeah. You know, I don't like the idea of Berserkers running away, frankly. And they didn't, luckily, this time. So they're totally fine. You know, punched a Stormlord and it exploded. And they're just like cool about it. That's fine. More blood for the Blood God. That was the desired result. Why on earth would you run away after that, right? Okay, so good stuff. That brings us to the end of the World Eater's turn 2. What a turn that was! Everything was exploding and dying. That was awesome. But how many points have you actually scored is the question. So
I scored advance.
Yep.
I'm going to discard that because you're only sat on one objective and it's a long way away.
Yep.
And First Blood.
First Blood, so 2 points to you. I did manage to score Defend Objective 2 in your turn as well, so it's 2 all on the points at the moment. Interesting. Okay, so it's neck and neck. I still feels a bit too close to call. However, as I said, my army suddenly feels a heck of a lot smaller, and it's a little bit worrying. But let's see what happens. I've got some stratagems and things I can remember to use this turn, unlike last turn, and we'll see how we get on. Well, folks, it's the Guard turn 1. Movement phase concluded. And essentially I've just castled up around the tanks. That's what I've done. I have a plan in terms of the order of things I'm going to shoot at stuff, which may or may not work. Hopefully it will. We'll see what happens. Everyone up on the roof has stayed still. It should be noted, actually. They haven't come down to try and defend Objective 1 because... I forgot to film this again, didn't I? My objectives for this turn. Regimental Pride we still have. That's an annoying one, but there it is. And I got Defend Objective 1 and Secure Objective 3. So again, Objective 3 cannot get opposite end of the battlefield. It's not happening. Defend Objective 1. Objective 1 is just there at the doors to the church. However, I just don't have enough manpower to get down there and defend it for 2 turns. I don't think it can be done. Not with more Berserkers coming out of either this Land Raider or that Rhino. Or both. It just isn't going to happen. They will chew through way too many guardsmen and it's not worth it. So I'm not going to try and defend Objective 1. I'm just going to castle up and I'm going to try and blow things up as best I can. And unfortunately, I think my objectives this turn are a total write-off, unfortunately, unless, I don't know,
maybe I can get a character to kill your demon prince, but that's not actually my plan at the moment. So, not playing the objectives this turn pretty much, just going to try and kill things and make it easier for myself in subsequent turns, that's the idea anyway. So, without further ado, let's go into the shooting phase, and this 10-man guardsman squad here, this one, is going to fire everything it's got at those berserkers there, starting with its flamer, which will be D6 auto hits. Edit, yeah, little sneaky edit there. Yeah, it is within range because I measured it. Just 2. And 1 wound.
One save.
You do make the save. Okay, now it's going to be all the las guns. 33 las gun shots opened fire there, with first rank fire, second rank fire being issued by Perkins at the back there. And I got 6 wounds successfully through. So 6 saves on those 2 berserkers. 1 fails. 1 dead berserker. Still need to kill the next one. And it's actually very important that I kill this in the shooting phase, this last berserker champion. Annoyingly important, actually. So I need to think about what I'm going to fire with next. Commissar with the bolt pistol. Hits. Doesn't wound though. Never mind. Right, I need to look around for other stuff now. The Bulgrins do have... You know what? Bert has frag bombs. My Bulgrin bodyguard back there, he has frag bombs, so he can chuck a frag bomb. D6 shots for 4. This will hit on 4s. 3 hits. And this will wound on 4s, because frag bombs are actually strength 4. They're pretty meaty. Alright, so 2 saves to make that. No AP, so 2 3-ups. Blast you! Okay, I need to think again. Next, squad up on the roof there. First rank fire, second rank fire. Down into this lone berserker champion. 4 wounds through this time, 4 saves. Finally, he goes down. Unless you're going to command point it. Are you going to command point it?
He's going to be dead anyway, it's not worth it. No, it's not worth it.
No? Okay.
Cool.
Alright, he is dead. Phase 1 of my plan is now complete. Him being dead now allows a bunch of my stuff to shoot your demon prince. Because he's a character, he has less than 10 wounds, but he is directly in front of me and he's the closest model for an awful lot of stuff here. Including a couple of melter guns, which is important. So, starting with this squad of 5 here, they didn't move. So they can reroll 1s, and the colonel will use his first order of the turn to order them to take aim, which means they'll reroll all failed hits. So, starting with this melter gun, firing at your demon prince. Hitting on a 4, rerolling any fails. So, rerolling that 3. No. Damn. Alright, never mind. And then the las guns firing at the demon prince. And the las guns and las pistol cause no wounds, unsurprisingly. Now I'm going to move on to this command squad at the back here. Perkins guys, because they've got a few las guns and, more importantly, a melter gun in the middle there. Our celebrity melter man from previous battles. He's going to hit on a 3 because he's a veteran, and I'm going to use the colonel's second order to order them to do the same thing, take aim. So hitting on the 3, re-rolling. He hits. Didn't need it. And strength 8, so wounded on you on a 3. Does wound. So you've got your 5-up demonic save, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which you don't make. So that's D6 damage. For 2. I'm going to command point that. Yes. For 2. Okay, good. Alright then. 2 wounds off the demon prince. Next up, the first of my tanks, the Demolisher, is going to open fire, and I'm going to pop Vengeance for Cadian on it for 1 command point, bring me down to 5. And I'm going to have Hannibal order it to pan them to dust as well. So it's going to re-roll a number of shot dice if it needs to for its Demolisher cannon. The Demolisher cannon itself is going to fire at that Land Raider. The heavy bolters are all going to go into those cultists up there, so I can see if I can try and wipe them out at least. So let's try this then. The Demolisher cannon,
2d6 shots, firing twice, and they stayed still as well, so I can reroll ones to hit. Although I'll be rolling everything because Adventures for Cadia, so I'm going to reroll at 2. Into another 2, very good. And that is 8 shots, so. Hitting on 4s, rerolling everything. Because you are chaos. Right, not bad. And now, wounding you on 3s. Again, re-rolling everything. Okay. So those are all at -3. So you got 6 saves at -3 to make.
Oh.
Right. I think this is the money shot right here. This is D6 each. Yeah, that's a very dead Land Raider. It had 7 wounds left. Kaboom. Does it actually go kaboom? That is the question. No, not quite. And we'll roll to see how many Berserkers managed to get out safely, I guess. There we go, folks. 2 Berserkers died on the way out in the end. And Khan and his mates are safely outside. And Khan probably not very happy that we've blown up his ride, actually. So there we go. Safely disembarked over there, where my Bulgrins won't be able to charge them. So it definitely looks like the Bulgrins are going to be charging this Demon Prince at the end of the turn. I did remark off camera earlier that I probably should have moved them in the movement phase to get them closer over here if I wanted to charge the Berserkers. Never mind. One of many mistakes I've made in this game, but that's how we learn, folks. So the rest of the heavy bolt shots from this thing are now going into those cultists over there, and I actually forgot to mention that this squad of guardsmen did actually open fire off camera with their las guns, and they killed 6 of the cultists as well. I totally forgot to mention that, but we did that before I started shooting with the Demolisher. So here's the heavy bolter shots. And yeah, once again re-rolling the lot. And that 3. Okay. And then moving on 3s re-rolling. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dead cultists. It's going to be the tank commander up next. Las cannon and battle cannon going at the Land Raider with 2 wounds left, is it still?
It is. Yes.
And then both the twin heavy bolters. I don't know if I can see the Berserkers from here. I don't think I can. Let me check. I'm going to fire the heavy bolters at this Mortal Fiend here. After getting down and really, really looking at it, he can't see those Berserkers, and you did disembark them in such a way that you hoped that you wouldn't be able to see them. So you can see Khan, but can't shoot Khan because of the character rules. So those Berserkers are safe from my heavy bolters, and this tank at the back definitely can't see them, so they're safe for now. So the heavy bolters are going to go into that Mortal Fiend, just hope for the best, I guess. So, as for the big guns going into the Land Raider, let's start with the battle cannon. That's not bad, that's 7. That's statistically average, as they say. Hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s because he did stay still, and that's more like it, Hannibal. There we go. And then wounding on 4s, tricky bit. All right, not bad at all. Not bad at all. That's 5 at -2. So you got your 4-ups.
2.
Okay, 2 failed. And yeah, that's it. That's D3 each, but it only had 2 wounds left. So, does it explode?
I hope not.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so 2 Land Raiders removed in a single turn there, and again, there was nobody in it, was there? They already got out, didn't they? All right, so okay, with those gone, suddenly I feel a little bit more confident looking at the table. It's amazing how much difference just a large model like that can make. Okay, right, heavy bolters then. He's got 2 of these. Firing at the old Mortal Fiend. Not so good this time. 5's to wound. 2 wounds, -1. Do save beautifully though. Alright, and then that brings us to the tank at the back, essentially. So, he'll probably also be shooting a Mortal Fiend. In fact, I think he definitely will be, yeah. Same Mortal Fiend. Battle cannon, 2d6 shots. Hey, there we go. That's more like it. 9 shots. 4s rerolling any 1s. Oh dear. Counted my chickens too early there. Alright. 3 hits. 1 wound. -2. No, D3 damage. 1. Okay. And then heavy bolters as well. He's got a pair of them, and he's got a flamer which is tragically out of range. As usual. I put them on there as sort of charge deterrents, but it never really happens, you know. So reroll that 1. Okay, 3 hits. 2 wounds, -1. 1 goes through, so another point of damage. It ain't quite dead, but we've put some dents in it. How many has it got left now then?
That was at full strength.
Right,
Because it healed its wound from...
of course it did, yes. Infernal Machines, or whatever the rule's called. Infernal Regeneration, I think that's the one. Right. That's all 3 of my tanks gone. I've pretty much run out of everything. Now, Van Graaf's command squad technically hasn't fired anything yet, but unfortunately, because they're cowering behind a tank, they can't actually see anything to shoot at, so there it is. The Bullgrins, they could throw their frag bombs. I could pop the Grenadier stratagem for 1 command point, and they could throw all of their frag bombs at that Demon Prince, if they wanted to. Or do I want to batter it in close combat and get that victory point? Maybe, if Bert and or the priest can take it out. I think I probably ought to go for the points here, so particularly since my objective cards for this turn were not very good. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to throw all my frag bombs. Can I use Grenadiers in Overwatch? Would I be able to Overwatch someone with all those frag bombs? I'm going to have to check that. It might be worth saving it for that instead. Anyway, yeah, I think that's my plan. So we're going to go into the charge phase, and the Bullgrins and the priest are all going to charge this Demon Prince. Alright, so these guys pretty much need a 4-inch charge, I think, to get into this Demon Prince. The characters will work out after that initial charge is done. One thing worth noting, actually, that last battle cannon shots into that Land Raider, two of the shots that fired should technically have missed because it was hit on 4s, because I forgot that you popped smoke. I mean, you had a smoke marker on it, and somehow I managed to forget that. So it's a bit far back now to go back and redo it, so you've graciously just decided, you know what, fine, whatever, it's dead. But yeah, we did spot that, and apologies folks, small cock up there. I probably won't change much in the grand scheme of things. I think it probably would have, all it would have changed, I imagine, is that the final tank would have just fired its battle cannon at that instead of the Mauler Fiend, and it didn't do an awful lot of damage to the Mauler Fiend anyway, so... Anyway, let's make this charge roll here. We don't have any guns on this Demon Prince to Overwatch with, so... Well, a 4's just what I needed, so that'll certainly do. Let's move these guys in. Right, that's how things look now. I've moved them a bit of a conservative charge move there, but it's mostly so I can try and get Bert in here on the off chance I can get this sneaky point. So he's got a 7-inch charge to do, though. Which he does make. Well done, Bert. In you go. Well done, son. There you are. Right, so he's going to be fighting that Demon Prince, which is excellent news. And then, well, I'd like to charge the priest in, but I don't think that's enough room. Regardless of how I do, I mean, he could theoretically thread that needle right in there to get in. Basically just to sort of make sure he's out of harm's way a little bit, and also keep his aura buff going as well. So let's give it a go, see what he gets. How angry is this priest? He gets a 6. So yeah, he's not going in there. He's going to end up staying where he is. But that's fine. That's okay. So, right. Yeah, charge phase done. Into the fight phase. And I am indeed going to start with Bert, I guess. He's going to be out of range for that buff from the priest, annoyingly. But he'll just have to make do with the attacks that he's got, I guess. Yeah. Because I could go with the Bullgrins first. Then you can interrupt. And also the Bullgrins may just kill you outright, because you've only got 3 wounds left as well, so because they've got a lot of attacks now. Yeah, I'm going to go with Bert first, I think. So he's got 5 attacks without the priest helping him. And he hits some 3s. Alright then, never mind. It was clearly not meant to be. And yeah, this is going to wound you on, I think, a 4+. Wait, are you having a 6 or 7?
6.
It would have been a 3+, but it wounds you anyway. -2.
5.
Oh, sorry, -1 actually.
Oh,
So
it still failed.
still fails, and it's just 2 flat damage. So you got 1.
Ooh.
1 point left. So I came so close to getting a point there, but never mind. Are you going to interrupt?
I think he's going to have to.
Probably should, yeah. I assume tearing these Bulgrins to pieces.
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, I'd like to take Bert's head, but it's a character, and Khan needs to kill a character.
Right, so you're saving Bert for Khan, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
That's a matchup, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, how many attacks have I got?
Unstoppable force versus a movable object. I think that'll be if he survives.
4 attacks, 3 for Malefic Talons, next one because he's a Demon Prince of Call, and 1 for Hateful Assault. He doesn't get the World Eater trait because I didn't charge.
Ah, right.
It's
Okay.
only the Hateful Assault. So, rerolling ones.
Into a 1, classic.
And there are 2 6s there.
So 2 dash the False Emperors.
Reroll.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, so far so good.
Strength 7.
So 3 still winning then. Okay.
Yes. Mine's 2 damage, I think.
Oof, yeah. I should probably do this one at a time then, in that case. Actually, no, it doesn't really matter. So this will be 4 ups, because of the slab shields. And that was pretty poor. That was incredibly poor, actually. So, basically, that kills a Bulgrin. That kills a Bulgrin. That leaves a Bulgrin left on 1 wound. Alright, well, 3 Bulgrins remaining, 1 with 1 wound. They're now piling in and they're attacking with a lot of attacks thanks to the priest and thanks to Avalanche of Muscle. So hitting on 3s, these guys. Finishing off this Demon Prince, hopefully. And wounding on 3s. Because they're strength 7 with these big clubs of theirs. And that is... that many saves at -1.
I just need to make all these.
Yeah. No, okay. So the Demon Prince has copped it. Bludgeoned to death by Bulgrins. And I'm not going to pile in with them anywhere, because I don't really need or want to. So they're going to stay put. And that concludes my turn, pretty much. Aside from any morale you've got to do. Your Berserkers lost a couple of guys, didn't they? So
Yeah, the leadership 8, so they can't fail.
they're fine then, yeah. And the Cultists as well.
Oh, they can't pass.
They can't be.
I'm not going to waste my last 2 command points on full cultists.
Okay. The Cultists are gone. Both the Land Raiders are gone. The Demon Prince is gone. And that little mini squad of Berserkers at the start are also gone. So that was a lot of shooting, and it took quite a while to do it all. But we clobbered some World Eaters. I feel much better about my life decisions right now. I mean, I really don't, because I've made a lot of very poor decisions in this game, but my chances of survival have gone up a little bit at least, I think, at this point. So, alright, that's the guard's turn done. As for my objectives, let's see. I didn't get Regimental Pride. That's a shame, but do you know what? Technically, I don't know if it could have worked anyway, even if Bert had killed him, because I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think, because he's an Ogren, I don't think Bert has the regiment keyword. He has the character keyword, but he doesn't have the regiment keyword here, so even if he had killed the Demon Prince, I don't think it would have counted, so I was a big fuss over nothing. So yeah, didn't get Regimental Pride, didn't get Defend Objective 1, didn't get Secure Objective 3. I'm gonna ditch Secure Objective 3 because it's useless. Cards, stop giving me Objective 3 related tasks, it's not going to happen. High Command, back behind the lines, need stern talking to because they need to understand that Objective 3 is not happening. Anyway, let's go over to the World Eaters, turn 3.
Folks, it's all about this corner of the table right now, apparently. Look at all the rest of this battlefield that we're not really using. It's all in the middle here. The world leaders, as you can see, it's fairly obvious. They've charged everything up. The Rhino still contains berserkers, it's worth pointing out. They haven't got out of there yet. There's no point, really, you figured, because they're just going to get shot at if you do that. Your other berserkers and Khan have moved forward, though. They're eyeing up these guys. And as for your objectives, what are you working with right now? You've got Mission Critical Objective 2, which is all my tanks are sat on. No prisoners, which is just kill a unit. And priority orders received assassinate. You've still got that in your hand. Now, that's important because Khan can very easily really kill this priest. So that will be assassinated in the back for him. And he'll power up as a result of that a little bit as well, won't he? Because he's
he will, yeah.
Because he's got his warlord trait. So you've got that coming up, and Maul of Fiends doing the thing as well. The Bulgrin's basically getting in the way of the Maul of Fiends here, not allowing them to move up and charge into my infantry. Bulgrin's doing what Bulgrins are supposed to do. Essentially, march up, form a shield wall, and not let anything past them until they're dead. So, speaking of being dead, they probably will be by the end of this turn, I imagine, but we'll see. So that's all the movement done. Once again, as usual, the psychic phase has been observed, but is not relevant to this game whatsoever. So now into the shooting. And you've got some targets, right?
Well, I've got a very small amount of shooting, but yes, I have. I'm going to put 6 bolt pistols into the 3-man guard squad there.
Yeah, there is a 3-man squad here from earlier. So it consists of a sergeant, a voxcaster, and a flamer. So
re-roll the 1. I keep doing that.
Yeah.
To wound. It's actually 5 wounds.
Okay, I possibly should have take cover on these guys.
Do you want to do it?
I'd like to. You're supposed to do it when something's targeted.
I didn't really give you a chance, did I?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that for a command point. I mean, it only gives him a 4+ save, but would you look at that? It actually made a difference. So one of them dies. So I guess that'll be the Foxcaster.
I'll put the combi bolter from the Rhino into them as well. 4 hits. 2 wounds.
2 wounds, 2 4-up saves. 1 more dies. That's going to be the sergeant. That leaves the flamer alive, basically.
My demon prince, warbolter, he did advance, but he
it's an assault weapon, right? Yeah.
And it hits twice.
Very good.
And he doesn't wound.
Ooh, okay.
I don't like flames. Khan is going to shoot it with his plasma pistol.
Lovely. And this is always overcharged, isn't it?
Is
Khan's plasma pistol, which is funny.
Hits.
And
Wound.
Does indeed wound. And
Strength 8.
strength 8 minus 3, I assume, because of plasma pistol. So, still no save. That flamer guy is dead. Well done, Khan, I guess. There's now a big gap around that priest, isn't there?
It's like we're singling him out.
Yeah.
And I think that is all the shooting.
It's all of your guns. Not a lot of them left, really. Well, you've got cultists over there, but they're a bit out of range, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just hanging around in case that objective comes up.
Yeah. Alright, so. Nice and quick, onto the charge phase.
Charge phase.
I like World Eaters, they're really quick to play with.
Okay. Khan is going to try and go into your priest. This is the important charge.
The priest does actually have a las pistol, not that it... Oh, okay, never mind, he did hit. He didn't wound though.
You're only making him angry.
Yeah.
I'm also going to declare a charge against the commissar.
Oh, very good. Yeah, because he could.
I can fight twice.
Yeah, and he'd heroically intervene you anyway. So, yeah, that's a wise move, I think.
Does he want to overwatch?
Yeah, he's got his bolt pistol, which he doesn't hit with. There we go.
So to charge. Oh, is he?
Yeah. Well, there he is, folks. Right in the middle of those 2 characters, precisely where he wants to be. So next up, your berserkers are going into this infantry squad, right?
Yep.
Not a very long charge at all.
9.
No, easy peasy. Let's do the Overwatch. Well, rolled it off camera, and I wish I hadn't because the Cadian 404's amazing flamers struck once again. I rolled a 6 on the auto hits for the flame there and killed 3 berserkers as a result. The lasguns didn't get in even, but that was amazing. So 3 dead berserkers, but you are of course in. So
guess, do you want to go like that? Does that work for you?
I'll make that one closer to there, because if we kill them all, I'm going to try and pile into the tank.
Naturally, yes. Alright. And you probably will kill them all too. So, yes. Now the Mauler Fiends, or the Demon Prince, right? Demon Prince next. Into the Bulgrins.
Easy.
Oh yeah, that's easy peasy.
He can advance and charge because of his relic.
Yep.
No, it's not a relic, is it? It's an artifact.
Yeah.
And I take it, have you got Overwatch?
They do have frag bombs actually. This is the thing I was thinking about earlier. Can I use the Grenadier stratagem for Overwatch? Let's find out, shall we? You can use grenades, the Grenadier stratagem in Overwatch. Unfortunately, I did then realise that you were more than 6 inches away from me, so I couldn't throw the grenades at you at all. So never mind, no Overwatch there, and the the Bulgrins are surrounded. I like to think we've got you surrounded, actually. Positive thinking here. So, where would you want to start?
Ooh. Well, I think Khan can take your Commissar. Not worried about the guards. You probably will. You've got a command point to interrupt, haven't you?
I do, yeah.
In that case, I'm going to go with my Demon Prince against the Ogres.
Right. So again, Corn Demon Prince, so ton of attacks.
5. So 4 attacks. 5 for being calm. This is with his sword. Not 5. I mean 5 being Corn, I should say. 6 for 8 for assault.
Yep.
7 for being a World Eater charging.
There you go. Right.
Rerolling the 1.
Lovely. Good start.
Death to the False Emperor.
Yeah. And then these guys are toughness 5, so
Ooh,
that's an awful lot of 1s and 2s.
it is. It's only -2 as well, this sword.
Alright, 4 up saves then. 2 made, 1 failed, so that guy with 1 wound left is gone.
And then there's a Malefic Talon as well.
Right.
Hits. And wounds.
And wounds, okay. This is -2.
-2, 2 damage.
Failed. Alright, so that is another Bulgrin down to 1 wound. Be your boy there. Right.
Are you going to pay to interrupt me?
Oh, that's the bonehead actually. Let's put it on the other one. I'm going to pay to interrupt. Good question. Let me think about it. So I examined my options, and I've decided to interrupt for 2 command points with these Bulgrins here, and they're basically just going to try and slap this Demon Prince before they get eaten by a Mauler Fiend. That's the plan. So, after piling in, they are within, I think even before piling in, they were within 6 inches of the priest. So they will get their extra attack. So the Bonehead, he's going to have 5 attacks. No Avalanche of Muscle, he didn't charge this turn. So, and the regular one's going to have 4 attacks. So these will hit on 3s against the Demon Prince. Alright, more 2s than I would have liked there, but that's okay. Then wounding on 3s. Okay. 3 at -1 on your Demon Prince.
Fails 1.
Fails 1. That's 2 damage down on the Demon Prince, but not spectacular as I might have hoped for, but okay. 2 command points worth spending, I don't know. But regardless, we'll carry on. Where do you want to go next? I can't interrupt anymore.
No, we'll go for the Mauler Fiend against the Ogres that just attacked, so you can't interrupt anymore.
Very nice.
I'm not going to use Demon Forge on that one. So these are the fists. I should have used Demon Forge on that one.
Yeah, you probably should have, yeah.
I can re-roll 1s for the Demon Prince. Oh dear.
Oh dear, okay. If you can hear a tapping in the background, folks, that's next door's fireworks at it. It's a couple of days past November the 5th, but they're still going.
Lash your Tendrils. What's your toughness?
Toughness 5 on Bulgrins.
Oh, okay, that's strength 6. So it's 3 wounds.
3 wounds. And minus what is that?
Lash Tendrils are -2 damage.
Alright. Really, guys? Really? It stopped. As soon as I pointed the camera over there, it stopped. Okay. Right. -2, 4 up saves. Saved 1, failed 2, and it's 2 damage each, did you say?
Yes.
So that basically means the Bonehead's alive and 1 wound left. There we go. Mr. Awkward with his sideways club. There we go. Okay. Right then. So.
Next model.
Next model screen. This one attacking Bert, I guess.
Yes, I think I will use Demon Forge after the last turn's attempt.
Right then.
Again, an extra attack because of the Hateful Assault.
Yep.
So re-rolling hits and wounds.
Indeed.
I'll re-roll 2s. Oh, sorry, I can re-roll
Yeah, you
2s.
can.
Oh, I'm an idiot. There we go.
No minus on this, so.
This is strength 12, so that's 5 wounds.
Right. 5 wounds.
And the fists are -3, 3 damage.
Alright, well, because of the Death Mask of Alanius, he does have a 4+ invulnerable save. Classic Bert, yes! 1 goes through. And that is 2 or 3 damage, was that?
3 damage.
3 damage. So he's got 3 wounds left.
Lash your tendrils. Is that cocked? So
Reroll.
re-roll. And then to wound. This is strength 6. So re-rolling. It's 4 wounds, -2. 2 damage each.
Right, we're up again. Not so lucky this time. 2 damage each. 2, 4, 6. Afraid Bert's cocked it.
Oh, but it never dies.
He never really dies. When you've got an Ogren physiology like that. It's like an orc Krelling, probably sew his head back on afterwards and he'll still survive. Right. And then piling in with the Molothrine. So that brings us over here to Khan and his chums.
Well, we'll save Khan, I think, for the finale.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to try and work out. So they've got 2 attacks base, 3, 4 attacks for the chain axes, and 3 attacks, 5 attacks for the power fist. So go for the power fist first. We are not within 6 inches of Demon Prince, are we? Not within 1 inch. You've got to be within 1 inch of Khan.
Yes.
So there's only 1 hit again with the power fist.
Okay.
It does wound.
Definitely wounds, yeah. And yeah, just killed straight up. Dead trooper.
And then the chain axes.
That's much better.
These are now going to be strength 6.
So 2s to wound.
Good job, Ruby. So that's 6. -1.
6 ups. So that's another 5 troopers dead. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, sorry. 4, 5.
And then we're going to pile in and do it all over again.
Yeah, basically. So in they go. Same as before.
Well, it's not quite the same as before. I don't
Well,
get the Hateful Assault.
right.
I saw the
Yeah.
World Eater's Legion.
So it's slightly fewer this time then.
So 1 power fist hit. That's a wound.
Yeah. And a dead guardsman, so dead Voxcaster in this case.
And then there'll be somebody 4 chain axes now.
2s to wound.
3 saves to make it -1.
Right. No. That's the squad wiped. And one assumes you are piling into this demolisher, right?
Yes, pile to the nearest.
So there you go. You've stopped that from shooting next turn, which was very important because that demolisher packs a heck of a punch, as we saw previously. Now it's time for the main event, and that's going to be Khan putting all of his attacks into the priest because the priest shot him with the last pistol, right?
Yes. 8 attacks. And hits on 2s. Hits.
Very nice.
And he is now strength 6.
So, yeah.
7 at -4. Also Gore Child.
Right, now, the funny thing about priests is they do have a 4+ invulnerable save from their Rosarius, a bit like chaplains. So, I think he might still be dead, but hey. Okay, well, he made 4 of them. 3 go through. How much damage is that a pop?
D3.
D3, alright then.
That's
Yeah. Very dead priest. And that got you assassinate as well. And Khan now improves his stats because he killed a character, right?
Yes, he gets +1 attack and +1 strength.
Right.
For each character he kills.
Does that apply immediately then?
I don't know, but this is 6 attacks normally. Let's see if he actually needs more.
Right, yeah. This commissar only has 1 wound left, so...
But he can actually re-roll ones.
Yeah, you can't.
Himself,
you're not allowed to re-roll them either
because you might kill people nearby.
Yeah. For those of you who are not familiar with Khan, basically, any friendlies within 1 inch of him, if he rolls a 1 to hit, those hits hit them instead. He just kills his own mates because blood for the blood god, you know. Anyway.
That's 4 wounds. Assuming you're toughness 3.
Yeah, I am. So 5 up refractor field saves on the commissar. Made 2 of them, failed 2. That means he's dead. He had 1 wound left. Alright. My dead part from that turn's it's looking a little on the large side, actually. But, and you're piling in.
Oh, no, because that means you get to a lot of attacks on him. And you can just fall out and order them to shoot anyway, can't you?
Yeah, I can. That's true.
So he's going to get hit regardless, so there's no point in me piling in, because you can just shoot him.
Well, I mean, if you do pile in, it does force me to use an order to make them fire. I can't, for example, make them do a different order. Like, I can't make them take aim or first rank, second rank, or something like that. I would have to basically use the get back in the fight order on them instead. So they'd still be able to shoot you, they just wouldn't be able to shoot you as well.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on whether they are going to cause quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, we would be able to...
He's only toughness 4 with a
we would be able,
armor.
Yeah, we would be able to poke you with our bayonets. It's true. So I'll leave that one up to you, honestly.
He's Khan, he's going to pile in. Of course he's going to pile in.
Fair enough. All right then. Well, speaking of poking with bayonets, let's jump to it, chaps. Well, we did poke Khan a few times with our bayonets. I think it really just made him annoyed, honestly, because we did no damage to him. I managed to get 1 successful wound through, and he saved it in style with a 6. Also fought back with the Lehman Rust Demolisher. It didn't hit anything, so nothing really worthy of note happened there, and that brings us pretty much to the end of the turn. And morale-wise, I don't think I've got any morale. You've killed a couple of Bulgrins, but they can't fail. Bulgrins have very good leadership, as it turns out. And everything else you attack, like that guard squad over there, you just utterly murdered, so no morale there, need to be taken for the dead.
I have.
You do, though.
You do.
Your berserkers did die on the way in there to the flamer, so...
Another one's off.
So another one's running away, unless you're command pointing that?
No, they're just fall on his chain axe.
That's very good. Okay. So one berserker just succumbs to his wounds, perhaps? Offers himself up to the blood god, I don't know. But, okay, I'm bleeding, I'm bruised. But we're not out of it just yet. There's a lot of tons of metal in my face, but we'll see if we can weather the storm. I don't know, it's kind of close to call at the minute, honestly, because you've still got a unit of berserkers and that rhino to worry about, in addition to all this stuff. And this demon prince and these maulers are not particularly damaged either. And my demolisher's not shooting either. Interesting stuff. Objectives.
Yeah.
You definitely got assassinate.
We've got a problem here. I didn't realise when I was doing it because I just got carried away trying to kill Bert. But Bert got killed, and he's a character, and he wasn't killed by my warlord.
Okay, this is one of those weird things, isn't it, with priority orders received, right?
Well, I see my warlord actually did kill 2 characters.
Yeah.
But then Bert was actually originally killed by...
Okay, hold on. It's time to read the fine print, folks. Fine print has been read. You are going to get points for that. I can't see anything in the way that's worded that doesn't mean Khan gets points for having... Because he soloed the character. He didn't have any help. Bert did die first, but the sequence in order for that to happen isn't mentioned anywhere in there. So I think you're still getting the points for that.
Okay, so that's 4 points I get for that.
4 points for that.
And I get D3 for no prisoners?
Yeah, you killed 5 units this turn, so...
Oh no. That's big.
That's big. So,
and I'll ditch mission critical.
Fair enough. Not that you're that far away from it now, I suppose, but yeah. Okay, so you've just run away with the points like crazy there.
But I'm exposed.
You are a little exposed.
Well, my armies.
Well, you on the other hand, you are more or less where you want to be. So, all right. Well, okay. We'll see what we can do. So, Imperial Guard, Turn 3 coming up next. Wish me luck, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Imperial Guard's turn 3. It's the end of the movement phase, and the following has happened. Everybody down here has taken a step away from Khan. Khan needs to die because he's now killed 2 characters, which means he's getting his attacks are like now strength 8, right?
Yes.
Yeah, strength 8, and he's got a monstrous amount of attacks. He basically needs to die, otherwise he could practically solo what's left of my infantry, I think. So we're going to be shooting at him. Orders are going to be given to get back in the fight for these units here so they can fire at him and stuff. And up here, this squad of infantry has moved over to this side of the building so they can all get shots down at these berserkers, who also need to die. Because that'll then allow me to get some other targets. Now, my orders are a pain. I've still got regimental pride. I've still got defend objective 1. And I've got priority orders received, assassinate. So it's the same, it's exactly the same as you got. My warlord has to kill an enemy character. Now, unfortunately for me, this is much more difficult to achieve. Because my warlord is Colonel Van Graff down there, and yes, he does have a power fist, admittedly, but the only character nearby that this is even feasible with is Khan, and I really don't fancy Colonel Van Graff's chances of killing Khan in close combat. I've mapped it out in my head with his 3 attacks hitting on 4+, wounding on 3+, with its power fist. I just don't somehow think it's going to happen. I think Khan will get very annoyed with him, turn around and then decapitate him with his chain axe, thereby giving you Slay the Warlord. So, I've decided at this point, because you've run away so much with the points, you're now on 9 points to my 2. If I want to win, I think I need to table you, more or less. I pretty much need to table you at this point, so that's my plan going forward. I'm just going to kill everything. Cleanse, purge, and kill. So, and that's going to be starting with these berserkers down here. They need to die. So, first thing I'm going to do is get all of these guys up on this rooftop here to shoot down at them. And the Colonel's going to order the first round fire, second round fire. So, here come the lasgun bolts. One quick addendum as well. This Bulgarin bonehead has fallen back out of combat with the Demon Prince, because I'd very much like to shoot it. It's very important that I shoot it, in fact, I think. So yeah, now back to the lasgun shots at these berserkers. Well, I got a number of wounds there, 6 wounds on these guys, and you passed all the saves, didn't you? So I'm going to have to try something else. Specifically, I'm thinking this command squad here with its plasma gun. So, yeah. And Van Graff's going to order them to reroll once to hit. They did move, so I can't reroll everything to hit with the take aim order, but I can reroll ones, which will be important for the old plasma gun. Actually, I will overcharge it just to give me an additional bonus to wound with it, I think. So, yeah, let's do that. Plasma gun first. 2 shots, yep, you're right. We're on rapid fire range, and it'll hit on 3s because he's a veteran. Brilliant, alright. And then wound on 2s because I overcharged it. Excellent. 2 at -3. Okay, very good. Berserkers are dead. With that removed, I can move on to the next bit of my plan here, and that is going to be using the Colonel's final order to get this command squad to re-roll all their failed hit rolls with take aim. Because they didn't move this turn, they stayed put, so they can re-roll all their failed hit rolls, including the one on this melter gun, which is going to be firing at Khan. So, aiming on the 3 because they're veterans. Reroll any fails, like that. Right, it does hit. It's strength 8, so what's the toughness? 4? 2's to wound. I've got two CP left. That's potentially 2 rounds of vengeance for Cadian. 1 this turn, 1 next turn. I can't possibly justify it. No, that's going to have to go. That's going to have to I'm going to have to wear that. And then there's 3 veterans with las guns as well, who also shooting can't. So re-rolling those fails. Now wounded on 5s. So 1 wound. Passed, of course. And then moving on to these squads here. We'll start with this smaller one with its melter gun. So they will be shooting as Perkins is going to order them to get back in the fight. So I'll start once again with the melter gun, this time hitting on a 4+ with no rerolls. Blast. No, I'm not going to command point it. Yeah, and then the rest of the squad. And the sergeant pistol as well. Hitting on 4s. See, I could have done with that earlier. And basically 1 wound, yeah. Saved again. Alright, moving on to the other squad then. Starting with its flamer against Khan. D6 auto hits. There you go. Cadian flamer is at it again. 4s to wound. 2 wounds.
2.
2. Did I really just do 2 damage there?
You did. Your flamer's race.
They really are, aren't they? Wow. Okay. Let's do the rest of the las guns as well. Unfortunately, no wounds done with all the las guns. Flamers are great. Las guns are trash, man. Okay. We're getting a bit desperate here before I have to start wasting heavy bolters on Khan. I say wasting. Killing Khan with heavy bolters is still not bad. But hey, Perkins has a shotgun. He's going to fire it at Khan. It's 2 shots. And Khan's within half range, so it adds 1 to its strength. So it's strength 4. So, he hits on 3s. He hits once. Actually, he didn't move, so it rerolls the 1. He hits twice. Well done, Perkins. Wounds on 4s. He wounds you once. You do pass the save though. As cool as it would have been. Right. So I'm going to move over to the tank commander, I think. He's going to order himself to pound them to dust. And I'm going to use Vengeance for Cadia on him. One of my 2 remaining command points. And the battle cannon and the las cannon, I guess they're going to fire at your Demon Prince, I think. Because Khan cannot shield the Demon Prince. They're both characters. Characters can't screen each other. So the las cannon and the battle cannon from him are going to go into the Demon Prince. Make sure that thing's dead. It's got 6 wounds left. I think we can definitely. And bless you. And the heavy bolts are going to go into Khan. So let's do the heavy bolts first.
I was really trying to hold that out.
It's fine, man. Right. Here we go. Vengeance for Cadia, so I can reroll all these. 3s. Alright. And then 3s again. Okay, and rerolling because Vengeance for Cadia. Okay. You have 6 saves at -1 on Khan.
3 wounds left.
That's cheeky.
1 wound left.
1 wound left. Okay. Now here's the funny thing. So, if Van Graff can level his bolt pistol at Khan and knock him out with his bolt pistol, I'll get priority orders received assassinate, and I'll get regimental pride, I think. I don't have to do this in the fight phase, do I? No, it's as a result of an attack made by one of your regiment characters during this turn. So, I can get... That's 4 points. I can get 5 points if Van Graff manages to take out Khan with his bolt pistol. However, we have to go do the rest of the tank shooting first. But that's a thing. That's definitely a thing that could occur. And I don't think it will, but it would be amazing, wouldn't it? Battle cannon now. And I'm using pound them to dust so I can reroll the shot dice for this. Okay, the Demon Prince, so I'll reroll a 1 into a 2. Alright, okay, fine. So that's 7 shots. Hitting on 3s, rerolling. Thanks to Vengeance for Cadia. Very good. And then wounding you on 3s, rerolling again. So, there we go. 6 saves at -2 on your Demon Prince. So,
3 go through.
3 go through, so it's 3d3 damage. 2, 4, 6. That's exactly what I needed, as it turns out. He had 6 wounds left, so The Demon Prince is gone. That means the last cannon shot was actually wasted, but never mind. I wanted to be sure on that one in case I rolled terribly for my shot dice or something. Then, now I'm going to save it till last. I'm going to I'm going to shoot this. I'm going to shoot this final tank here at something. Do you know what? Okay, I am going to do Van Graaf first because I've just realised it's got a couple of heavy bolters on it that I might need to shoot Khan with. So, all right, okay, Van Graaf, here's your chance, mate. Do the regiment proud. If you can kill Khan the Betrayer with your bolt pistol, you'll be a legend. If not, whatever, we'll just shoot him with some heavy bolters. It's fine. Right, so he's got one shot. It hits a 3+. It hits. It'll wound on a 4+. It does wound. So now you've just got one save to make.
Corn will protect him.
It does. Okay. It's a shame I can't make you command reroll a dice. That would have been amazing, but yeah, that's what I expected, more or less. Okay, so yeah, this tank at the back will be firing its heavy bolters at Khan, and its battle cannon at this Mauler Fiend. So, battle cannon, 5 shots. Hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. Okay, and wounding on 3s, I think. Yeah, strength 8. So 2 wounds, -2. Fine. Right, and then the heavy bolters at Khan the Betrayer. So the sound effects department next door is working again, and that is 3 hits and 3s to wound. 2 wounds on Khan at -1. Statistically speaking, he should die now. But what are statistics to the Chaos Gods?
I got him command point.
No, you can't. Well, fickle, I guess, to the Chaos Gods is the answer. So Khan is, he doesn't really die. Khorne keeps bringing him back to life every time he dies, but so he'll be back, but for now we've put him out of commission. And we put a Demon Prince out of commission as well. But that's about all we've achieved.
It's Warlord.
It is Slay the Warlord, admittedly. But I do still have 2 Mauler Fiends and a Rhino full of Berserkers bearing down on me. So, yeah. Am I going to charge anything? I do have 1 Bulgrin here who could charge something. Alternatively, do I want to force you to charge him? I don't know.
You fell out of combat.
Oh yeah, you did fall out of combat. Right, forget I said anything. I totally forgot. Right, yes. Okay. So as the fireworks explode in the distance, the artillery goes off there. That brings a conclusion to the turn. I don't think there's any morale to do whatsoever, because everything that might have had morale is dead. And as for my objectives, well, none of them were achieved, basically. Hawar didn't achieve Assassinate. We didn't get Regimental Pride because he wasn't killed by a character, Khan. He was killed by a tank. And we didn't get Defend Objective 1 because I could have tried, but emphasis on tried. That Rhino would have had all the Berserkers pop out and murder everyone that was trying to defend Objective 1, so I wasn't going to go for that either. So no points scored by me. I'm still on my lowly 2 points. You're on your 9 points. It's not about the points anymore for me. It's about killing all of the things, pretty much. And I killed 2 things in that turn. So, well, I'm eyeballing it right now, and I still don't really know. I suppose it's anyone's game still at this point, so World Eater's turn 4 it is. Folks, it's World Eater's turn 4 at the end of the movement phase, and as you can see, the field of battle continues to shrink smaller and smaller. I just said off camera that we're basically playing on a kill team board now, because this is the rest of the table that's not being used anymore. As the World Eaters close in on the corner here, as the Berserkers jump out of their Rhino and fight. The third wave comes in now, and the noose is tightening, basically. So let's have a look at your orders. You got behind enemy lines for the Dark Gods and Secure Objective 5. Now, your cultists are getting Secure Objective 5 over at the back there in those ruins. So that's fortuitous. For the Dark Gods, score a victory point if an enemy unit was destroyed or failed a morale test during this turn. Not hard to do whatsoever. And behind enemy lines, get at least one unit completely within the enemy's deployment zone. You're already completely within my deployment zone. So basically the Maelstrom has given you some amazing objective cards. You're going to keep running away with the points. It only emphasises the fact that I need to table you at this point, really. So, you do have a shooting phase. There's a few guns.
Yes, it's going to be brief, as usual. Rhino, combi bolter into the command squad.
Yep.
Can't re-roll ones, got no characters left. And no damage.
Alright.
The Berserker squad there, I'm quite confident they can kill off the infantry.
Yeah.
So they're just going to put all their bolt pistols and their plasma pistols, because they've got 2 plasma pistols there, which they're going to overcharge and put into the demolisher.
Yeah, it's still got 7 wounds left, so it's hurting a bit, this one.
So 6 bolt pistols. 6s. No. And then overcharged plasma pistols.
There we go. That's the fun part.
Oh, 2 hits. 4s.
One wound.
-3, 2 damage.
6 up save. No, so 5 wounds left on the demolisher. You brought it down a bracket as well now, importantly.
And then we're on to the charge phase.
Yeah?
So the Rhino into the demolisher.
Yep, we've got some more tank on tank action, folks.
Yeah.
There we go.
He'll be in, but you've obviously got your Overwatch.
Plonk.
Could be nasty against him.
It could be nasty, so here's my choice, basically. I have 1 command point remaining. I can either spend it on defensive gunners now to get this demolisher to really wreck that Rhino, maybe even blow it up, if I'm very lucky. Just in one shot from because that demolisher cannon is just seriously nasty. Alternatively, I save the command point for another round of Vengeance for Cadian next turn. It's a really rough decision, actually. I don't know what to do. I think... Well, I mean, here's the thing. You know what? I am going to do defensive gunners because this is why. If by some miracle I blow up the Rhino, it could happen, you know. If I'm lucky enough, it could happen. I blow up the Rhino. That means then you've got to charge me with Berserkers to shut this tank down. And if you charge me with Berserkers, that means you have to take Overwatch from the Demolisher Cannon again. And defensive gunners, I can only assume it lasts until the end of the phase. Maybe it doesn't. We'll find out. But
I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't?
No. Because if I did, the Berserkers are going to charge into that infantry squad.
Right.
And then they'll consolidate into that tank, so they'll shut it down anyway. If we assume the Berserkers are going to chop up an infantry guard squad. So
Which is a fairly safe assumption.
Yeah, so you're going to have to fall back anyway, so I'd save it for Vengeance for Cadian.
Do you know what? You're a fantastic sportsman for pointing that out. And yeah, I think you're absolutely right, because you are, aren't you? You're going to come in, you're going to chop these guys to pieces, and then you're just going to consolidate into the tank. Yep. Alright. There we go. Decision made. I'm going to save that. I will still fire Overwatch at you anyway, regular Overwatch, but it's not going to be hitting you on 5s, just 6s. Alright folks, the Demolisher has started opening fire with its Overwatch against that Rhino, and I wasn't going to film it because I don't think much was going to happen. Then I rolled 3 6s to hit with the Demolisher cannon. So, wounded on 3s, all 3 wound, AP -3.
Oh.
Okay.
6s? No?
No, so that's 3d6 damage.
Oh.
I think the Rhino's dead, mate.
Does it blow up?
Does it indeed?
Oh, please don't blow up.
No, it doesn't go. It doesn't explode, but it's gone. I didn't even get to the heavy bolters. Just demolish cannons, folks. They are. I told you they'd be good after the FAQ, and they really are. I want more of these things. Okay, so with that out of the way, Berserker's next, I assume. Probably not charging the tank, I guess.
No, I don't think we will. We're going to charge this infantry squad and the squad behind.
Right.
So obviously, if we kill them in the first round, we can pile forward into the second squad.
Yeah. Okay.
So distance charged is 5.
Looks like that'll do it. I think.
Enough. I can always re-roll, but I think that'll be enough with the pilot anyway.
Definitely.
You've got Flamer.
I do have a Flamer. I don't know if he's in range though. Yeah, the flamer is in range. Alright, well, I'll probably off camera the las guns, but I don't know, these Cadian flamers have a bit of a reputation, so let's see what happens. D6 auto hits. 2. Oh dear, I think we finally ran out of fuel. Alright. So mooning on 4s. Nothing at all. Alright, let's do the las guns. And there's the berserkers charging right in there. No casualties suffered to the las gun Overwatch, as I suspected. The smaller fiend is also charged into this little squad here. The melter gun missed on Overwatch and the las guns did nothing. And this smaller fiend charged into this lone Ogrin bonehead, and it threw a frag bomb at it, and it did a wound. So 1 wound off the smaller fiend. It'll just regenerate it next turn, but hey. Right, charge is done. Where do you want to start? I can't interrupt, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, we'll start with this smaller feed.
Squish the Ogrin
So
then.
5 attacks with its fists. 2 hits. 2 wounds.
Very good.
-3 damage.
So that is 1 saved, 1 failed, but he dies anyway because he had 1 wound left.
Work on to the next smaller fiend. Now, how many are in that squad?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that squad, yeah.
I've got 1 command point left, so I'm not going to use Demon, fortunately.
No, I wouldn't.
So fists, 3 hits. That's 3 dead.
Yep.
The Lasher Tendrils, it's 4 hits. 6. -2 damage, that is another 4.
So that's the squad wiped. No surprises there.
And then Berserker fun.
Here's the interesting part, yeah.
Spent 5 minutes counting all the dice out.
And to nobody's surprise, the Berserkers mulched all of those guardsmen, and they've now piled into the command squad. And with their second round of attacks, they killed the command squad too! That's Berserkers, folks. They've also consolidated into this tank, so yeah, just as you said, the Demolisher's not firing next turn once again. Yeah, alright then. Well, bye infantry. I've still got 1 squad up there, and I've got Van Graff and his command squad, but yeah, most of it's dead now. To be fair, when building this list, I don't think I followed the golden ratio of guardsmen to tanks. I should have definitely brought a lot more. But yeah, alright then. Well, I guess my tank can fight back. It has D3 attacks on its second bracket. So 2 attacks. Miss. Very good. Job done. Right, I think that's the end of the turn. I don't have morale because you've butchered everyone who might have taken a morale test. And as for your points, you've probably scored even more, haven't you?
I got 1 for behind enemy lines because you actually killed the Rhino, which I didn't bank on. So just 1 there. 1 for Dark Gods and another point for Secure Objective 5, which puts me on 12.
3 more points in the bag, on 12 in total to my 3. Which includes Slay the Warlord. Yeah, alright, well. I don't know, let's see. I've still got 1 command point for Vengeance for Cadia. I still have that. I really wish I'd remembered that in turn 1 now. It would have made quite a difference. Anyway, so, guard turn 4, coming up next. Let's see if we can pull this. See if we can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Alright folks, this is how things look. Yeah, not got a lot left on the table to play with, but this is how things look at the end of the movement phase for the guard in their turn 4. And basically, Van Graff and his command squad huddling at the back here. The Demolisher has fallen back out its full 7 inches that it can move on its current bracket, all the way over to there. These 2 tanks once again staying put, because they're Cadians and they need to fire more effectively. Perkins has quite understandably run off in this direction away from the Berserkers. And this squad of troopers has jumped down off this roof here. And the Colonel will be ordering into first rank fire, second rank fire to try and whittle down some of these Berserkers here. And the lone sergeant from that other squad that was up on the roof has hopped down into that archway there to stand next to Objective 1. Which could maybe get me defend Objective 1. I'm so far behind on the points, it hardly matters at this juncture, but you never know, so that's what he's going to be doing, that lone sergeant over there. And yeah, so that's how things look. my plan in this turn essentially is going to be delete the berserkers with heavy bolter and lasgun fire, then take out the Mauler Fiends, and if I can take out the Mauler Fiends, we've got it, basically. In the bag, we've just got some cultists left over there who we can mop up with our tanks, and that's basically it. So this is going to come down to the dice, I think, effectively here, because I can't win on points. I just got to kill all the things. So I think I got quite lucky with that Overwatch last turn, blowing up your Rhino. I think I really did. So I'm going to start with this squad who's hopped off down the roof here, and they're going to be firing everything they've got. First rank fire, second rank fire being their order, into these berserkers, and we'll see what we can get. The flame is out of range, obviously, but all these lasguns are certainly not. This squad with the lasguns successfully brought down one berserker. Not bad. It's actually more than I genuinely expected. Now I'm going to try my luck with Perkins' shotgun. 2 shots. They hit twice. They're wound on 5s though, because they're not within half range this time. So 1 wound with a shotgun on your berserkers, and they pass the save. Yeah, shotgun's not going to do much against power armor, let's be fair. Now this squad, for this command squad here, Fangraph going to order them to take aim, to reroll 1s. And once again, starting with the plasma gun. So this will hit on 3s, rerolling any 1s. Into a 1. Right, plasma guy's dead. Never mind. And this will wound on a 2 though. Oh no! Alright, massive fail from the plasma guy there. And then the other 3 with their lasguns. Okay, reroll that 1, because take aim. There we go. And then wounded on 5s. 1 wound. Failed. Okay, so we killed another berserker. Right. That's all the small arms done. We're now moving on to the 2 remaining tanks with all of their stuff. So we'll start with Hannibal, the tank commander, and yeah, his battle cannon and las cannon will be going into. Does it really matter at this point? I suppose the rear Mauler Fiend, there's more chance of killing it, and he'll order himself to pound them to dust, and I'll use Vengeance of Acadia, and the 2 heavy bolts will go into these berserkers as well. So that's the plan. I'll start with the heavy bolters into the berserkers, I think. Okay, hitting on 3s, re-rolling everything because of Vengeance of Acadia. Very good. 3s to wound, re-rolling again. Okay, 5 saves at -1. 2 more dead berserkers. Still a few left though. I'm beginning to think I might not be able to get them all this turn if this keeps up. I've only got 2 more heavy bolts to go. Alright, and yeah, now the battle cannon at the Mauler Fiend. I'll re-roll. Gosh, you know what? I'll be risky and re-roll both of them with pound them to dust. 7. Alright, fair enough. 5, 6, 7. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling. Very good. And wounding on 3s, re-rolling. Very good. -2 on these ones. Right, okay. D3 each. So, 3, 6, 9. It's gone. Does it go kaboom? Do Mauler Fiends go kaboom? I think they do, don't they? Yes. But not this time, as it turns out. So, 1 Mauler Fiend removed. And, do you know what? Is the heavy flamer for this tank in range? I don't think so. Let me just double check. Okay, I've measured it up, and the heavy flamer on this back tank here is actually in range of these berserkers. Hooray! The heavy flamer's finally in range of something. To be fair, when the heavy flamer on a Lehman Russ is in range of something, that means something's gone horribly wrong, to be fair. So, whatever. We'll do the heavy bolts first. It stayed still, so I can re-roll any 1s. Didn't get any, but that's still a good spread of hits, considering it was going on 4+. Now 3s to wound. So 3 wounds on the berserkers at -1. 3 berserkers dead. That leaves 1 still standing. Okay. Now the heavy flamer. And the battle cannon probably goes without saying, but yeah, it's going into the Mauler Fiend, obviously. Okay, yeah,
Cadian Flamers at it again. There we go. Right. And yeah, that's 4 wounds and -1. Dead. There we go.
Dead.
Berserker's removed. Right, and now just the battle cannon against your Mauler Fiend. Okay, that's very interesting. That's 11 shots. Alright, hitting on 4s and re-rolling 1s. There's a 1. Okay. Even so, that is a disgustingly good hit roll. Now wounding on 3s. Yeah, okay, so you've got 6 at -2. And, okay.
5d3.
5d3 damage. Vengeance for Cadia indeed. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 damage done. Does it explode?
No.
No, it doesn't.
Should do.
Mauler Fiend is removed. Chaps, I think we've weathered the storm. I wasn't sure there for a while, but there it is. That's one way to end a turn, I suppose. Can you imagine the sea of corpses there in front of these tanks right now? This entire street just carpeted with the things. Corn's very pleased, I think. He's the real winner today. So yeah. Well, you're still technically in the game. You've got cultists over there, and you have approximately 1 million points. So, do you want to continue? You'll be on your turn 5 now. So if you can survive being shot at, and then the game ends because it's random game length, you could still win this.
It's potential.
So
we'll see where I can move to.
Okie doke. Right. World Eaters turn 5. Well, I mean, are these guys World Eaters technically?
Yeah, but they don't get the Legion trait.
Well, anyway, World Eater Cultists turn 5 coming up next. Alright, quick addendum. I forgot the damn tactical objectives again. I thought they were becoming a little bit irrelevant, but actually all of a sudden maybe not. Because overwhelming firepower, which I got this turn. Did I even remember to film these at the start of the turn? I probably didn't, you know. I'm getting too carried away with just want to blow stuff up. But anyway, I've got overwhelming firepower. Just score 1 victory point if an enemy unit was destroyed in the shooting phase of your turn. If 3 or more enemy units were destroyed during the shooting phase in your turn, score D3 victory points, and that did indeed take place. So, D3 victory points for 3. So that now brings me up to 6 victory points in total. And I don't get regimental pride, it's actually impossible to now. So it's getting discarded. You don't have any characters left. And that leaves me with Defend Objective 1. And as mentioned earlier, this lone sergeant over here is actually defending Objective 1. So at the end of your turn 5, I could score 2 points, which would bring you up to 8 points in total, to your 9. So you're still in the lead. You've got 12, have you? Alright, never mind then. I thought you were still on 9. But even so, the gap's closed quite a lot there, actually. So, right. Interesting stuff. Okay, well, as advertised, World Eaters turn 5 coming up next. Well folks, World Eaters turn 5, and I remembered to film the objective cards for once. You've got Defend Objective 1, Kingslayer and Long War. And essentially, none of these are really going to help you right now. Because here's the situation. Your cultists have moved out of those ruins and out here into what is seemingly the open, but what it actually does is it puts this church between them and the tanks, which is pretty important because presumably the tanks aren't allowed to blow up the church. It's a holy relic, you see. So it's like that scene in Band of Brothers where he wanted to put a few rounds through the house and he refuses to do it because he's been told not to. Similar situation here, I suspect. So basically, he's gotten his cultist out of range of being shot by most of my tanks. I think the Demolisher might be able to reverse a bit in my turn and fire at them. And Hannibal might be able to power forward a bit and get some shots at them. Do you know what, at that range though, I don't think his heavy bolters might not even be in range. He'd pretty much only be able to shoot with the las cannon and the battle cannon at that point, I think. So it's interesting. Basically, your goal here is to survive to the end of turn 5.
Hope it ends.
And hope it ends. So that's all that's happened essentially. So do you have any shooting? I don't think so.
I advanced anyway.
You advanced anyway, yep. So that's World Eater's turn 5 done, basically. So I'm not even going to put an end card here. We'll jump straight into the guard's turn 5, where essentially this tank is going to reverse that way. Gets about 7 inches to do that. These guardsmen are going to move out around here. Hannibal's going to move 10 inches forward. And I suppose this tank will follow as well, but it's not going to be able to shoot anything. My cards for this turn are Defend Objective 4, which I just drew. Rubbish. Defend Objective 1, I actually scored that in your turn, so I've got now up to 8 points, and I scored that, so I need to draw another one to replace that. Secure Objective 2. Oh, I'm stood on that. Very good. Okay. And Overwhelming Firepower. Oh, I scored that as well, actually, so... Kingslayer. Whatever.
You've got it.
Oh wait, this is the one that you score retroactively, isn't it? Yes. Okay then. Score D3 victory points if your opponent's warlord has been destroyed during this or any previous... Yes. That's interesting then. So that's the fun thing about Maelstrom, you can draw that sometimes and it will pull your ass out of the fire. Okay, I'll finish moving the rest of this lot. There, I finished my movement and this is how it looks. Demolisher's managed to get... It moved its full movement and it can now see these guys. Full movement for it though means his Demolisher cannon will only fire 1d6 shots, and it'll hit on 5s, and its heavy bolts will hit on 6s because it's also damaged. Meanwhile over here, back tank has moved up and advanced, so it's not shooting. Hannibal's moved up his full distance, so again, battle cannon only firing 1d6 shots. But it and its heavy bolters are very much in range of the cultists and he can see them, so we'll be firing away at them. Perkins has regrouped with the Colonel and the command squad over here next to Objective 2 to go and cap that, and this infantry squad has moved around the side of the chapel here. Some of them will be able to fire over there at the cultists. In fact, they will be, with an order to first rank fire, second rank fire, which technically in this scenario is actually only 2 men, but you know. Yeah, so they're... That's the plan. I think I'm going to start with this squad over here, actually just firing their lasguns at the cultists. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to start with this Demolisher so that you don't remove the cultist there, that I can see with it and stop me from shooting you. So that's what I'm going to do. D6 shots with the... Well, okay, fine. 6 shots with the Demolisher cannon. Hitting on 5s. Killing on 2s. So I kill 1 cultist with that, and then the heavy bolters. These are hitting on 6s. I'm effectively firing Overwatch at this point. So I get 1 hit and kill another cultist. And now I'm going to fire this squad. Okay, 12 lasgun shots from this squad here, from the ones that can see. And these cultists, all being ordered to first rank fire, second rank fire by the Colonel at the back. And, well, some hits. Forced to wound. 4 wounds. 4 6-up saves. 3 more dead cultists, so we've got 5 in total now. And now Hannibal, firing obviously absolutely everything at the cultists because everything's in range. So I'll start with both his heavy bolters. Hitting on 4s at this point because he moved, but he is a tank commander, so he'll order himself to pound them to dust as usual, obviously, with the main cannon. So 3 more dead cultists. Battle cannon, 1d6, only firing once. 3 shots. I'm going to re-roll it and be greedy for 4 shots. Okay. And 1 hit, which does kill another cultist. And that's everything I've got that can fire at the cultists. Well, no, it's not. Sorry, I forgot the last cannon. There we go. That does hit. And that does wound and kill another cultist. I just realised actually the battle cannon should have been hit on 3s because grinding advance, but I don't think it's going to make much difference somehow. So, that's all my gun. That's all of my turn. That brings us to the end of turn 5, with the exception of morale, of course. So,
I lost 10.
you lost 10.
My leadership's 6.
So,
they're in trouble. How many? Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it? So
2,
2,
12. Yeah, they're all gone.
All gone.
That's a tabling. And that is a victory to the Cadian 404th and the 407th Armoured. I mean, they did most of the legwork today, to be fair. Not the most of the dying, though. But that was a close one. I've finally broken the World Eater curse, at least. I've managed to finally beat World Eaters with my guard. I think most of it was down to spamming Vengeance for Cadia a lot, actually, really. I think without that, I would have lost that game, potentially. But there it is. As we pan in here on the smoking crater, is all the remains of my Stormlord. The Adeptus Mechanicus are not going to be happy. I've wrecked one of their relics. Like, irreparably destroyed it.
Just taking the bits back, they can knock it back together.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what's funny, actually, is the Stormlord is one of the AdMech's sort of knockoff versions. There's only 3 particular... I think it's the Shadow Sword, the Baneblade, and one of the others that are the only legit STCs for those super heavy tanks. The rest of them are basically versions that the AdMech came up with over the years to manufacture using whatever parts they had available. Because, for example, like the Shadow Sword's big volcano cannon, you have to build it using crystals that come from one specific planet in the entire galaxy, for example. So that's why they came up with a lot of the other ones. And the Stormlord was one of the knockoffs, basically. So they'll still be mad. But maybe not quite as mad as if I lost the Baneblade, for example. So anyway, you've been a fantastic sport.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Very enjoyable. Lots of blood.
Lots and lots of blood. As I said, yeah, Khorne's the real winner today, I think. The corpses, the blood just dripping into those vent fans over there. It's just absolute massacre. It's ketchup all over the place. Stompy would be very happy. But yeah. There we go. Within a whisker, I managed to actually triumph over the World Eaters for once with my guard. First time on the channel as well, so that's alright, I guess. But again, thanks again, Dave, for coming down.
No problem.
That was a great game. I love doing a bit of guard versus chaos, even though it's slightly skewed in the guard's favour these days, what with their stratagems and things. I didn't bring the Relic of Lost Cadia. I know people will point it out in the comments, but I didn't bring it specifically because it's unnecessary against chaos, I feel. Sure, if I was turning it to a tournament, perhaps I would bring it, but I'm not. So I think it's like Vengeance for Cadia once per game, but for every unit within 12 inches of the guy who's got it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You can give it to a tank commander to even increase the footprint of it even further. It's silly. It's really silly. Guard are a very hard counter to chaos, but as I said, of all the chaos I've played against, World Eaters are always the toughest nut to crack for me. So, all right, there we go, folks. Hope you enjoyed that one. I very much did. Khorne very much did. Hopefully you did too, mate.
Yeah, that was good fun.
And I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo!